unparalleled consumer experience. I highly recommend.
877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
You already listen to 96.5 The Fan, but are you following us? Our Instagram is loaded with show clips, breaking news, mock drafts, and content you can't get on the air, like Thy Royal Decree and Chiefs Take Tuesday. Go to Instagram, search for The Fan 965, and hit that follow button. If you don't do this immediately, Dusty has threatened to do a photo shoot in a bathing suit. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Follow us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content at The Fan 965, KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
In the words of The Cure, it's Friday and I'm in love. Great song.
What a great song. And you can only play that on Friday. And everybody's working for the weekend, too. You can only play that on Friday as well. People play that on Monday. I'm like, no. That gets me too excited for Friday. Let's go.
And you can only play You Got to Fight for Your Right if you win the Super Bowl.
That's right. They can only do that if you win the Super Bowl.
It is Friday here on 96.5 The Fan. Dusty Likens, McMorty, Bob Fescoe, and Bob, who else is with us
We've
today?
got the Carters in today. We got Mitchell and his dad, David, in here today, and they made us a banana pudding cheesecake this morning. So we called for this, right, a couple of weeks ago. David texted me, Mitchell goes to school with my daughter at Olathe East. He's the best basketball player Olathe East has ever seen, and he's only a freshman. This kid dominates the paint, man. It is unbelievable. The pivots, the shots, the blocks, the defense.
Give me a player comp.
I would
Cooper
say,
Flag.
yeah, he's a young Cooper Flag. There's absolutely no question about that. Yeah, I mean, look at the kid. He's got the flop hair and everything.
He's got it going on. Swag,
Glazing.
He's essentially the newest Cooper Flag, right? So watch him. Mitchell Carter, Olathe East. They play today, right?
Sweet.
And so we've talked about this banana pudding cheesecake for a while. And David texts me, he goes, we're going to make one for you guys. And they did a test run, right? A test run of the cheesecake. I'm like, man, let's try to make it better. And this thing, I mean, what's it weigh? 15 pounds, I think, this cheesecake. I mean, they came in with a big cooler of cheesecake, Ready Whip. Max got the Ready Whip for Valentine's Day. He is like set on this one.
What does that mean? I know that I'm hard.
He's having cake.
Oh.
Yeah. So we got the Nilla wafers. We got it all
people
going
use
on.
Cool Whip for a lot of other things, like Jell-O and sex. Elephant in the room. So I need to ask, because I really am in fear that I'm slowly but surely becoming Larry David, or as some people might call me, an ass.
Or Bob Fescoe.
That is...
You could be becoming me.
That is my biggest fear.
I don't blame you.
So I had to get my oil changed yesterday, one of those normal things. Shout out to my mechanic, James. Great guy. And the situation happens where, do nice things for people. You never know. Change your day life, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting in the lobby, and to my left. Okay, so first off, let's talk car shops. You leave your car if it's going to take more than an hour, right? Like if you call a mechanic and like, hey, are you going to drop it off or are you going to stay? Mm-hmm. I'm just getting my oil changed. I got my tires there, so it's a free rotation. They gave me a $10 inspection. I said, I'll just stick around. They're like, no more than 45 minutes an hour. Sounds great.
Fine.
I can do some show prep, all that sort of stuff.
Perfect.
Great.
Yes. Yep.
Surely there won't be a lot of people. Boy, was I wrong. 3 other people were in the lobby at the same time. To my left.
Did you drink the coffee at this auto dealership?
No, I already had enough, and
right, good.
I can't have more.
It's
than
usually
one
the
of
coffee
these
at the Jiffy Lube or someplace like that. Been sitting for a while.
Yeah, these were the wonderful people at Firestone and Lee Summit.
Nice.
And for those of you that know, it's the one right across the street from the Hy-Vee. Again, shout out to James, great mechanic, great guy. Trust him with everything I have, which is my car, which I am in quite a bit. And so I'm in the lobby. I'm starting to type up some stuff for the rundown. And to my left is a gentleman on a Zoom call.
Oh God.
He's got the volume on the Zoom.
No,
so I can hear.
He's not wearing headphones.
No, he is, but everybody on the thing, he's got one in his ear, one out, so he can hear, and he's having a Zoom call. And everyone on the Zoom call, you can hear what they're saying. But wait, there's more.
Wait, if he's wearing headphones, how are you hearing it?
He had an ear pod in, and the other ear was naked, so it was like double volume. So I don't know if like they died halfway through the Zoom meeting, but either way, I heard the entire conversation, what they were talking about.
Or maybe he didn't have the headphones connected.
Either way, his name was Chet. I don't know. I don't know who Chets are, but I met my first Chet yesterday. To the left of him was a mother and her daughter. The mother probably late 70s, maybe early 80s.
Peak boomer.
She goes, man, I'm starting to get hungry. Well, there's a Chipotle Express across the street.
A Chipotle Express?
Yeah, you've heard of these, right?
No.
You can go through a drive-thru and order.
Oh, okay.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of like Master Walk Express. Did you ever run into one of those? We used to have one of those in Lee Summit. Lost it. Either way, it broke my heart. They go and get it. I don't know why they're waiting in the lobby, but they went and got the food, came back and ate it in the lobby, smacking, right? Open mouth chewers, and then a belch was released by mother.
No!
So in my moment of life, I'm going, Dusty, this is what the sermon talks about as test of God, to just relax and not be super angry all the time and just go with life and don't worry about others. Just kind of, keep your best foot forward. And it's just...
Why didn't they eat it at the Chipotle?
Good question, Bob.
Thank you, Dusty.
And then all of a sudden, I just heard the excuse me. And within 3
you
minutes,
didn't smell it, did you?
Hopefully not. But within 3 minutes, their car was ready.
Yeah.
Done. Over. Could have ate at Chipotle. Because
Yeah.
when your car's ready, they call you or they send you a text. Hey, it's ready. It's right across the street.
Yeah.
Chipotle, you can put the foil top back on, put it in the bag, go get your car, go home, eat the rest. So 2 people, mouth open, eating, belching, Zoom call, me sitting there, didn't say a word, didn't say like, could you guys maybe like close your mouth while you eat? Because I feel like that would put me to the level. But I have to ask, am I an ass for being this as a complaint?
I would say if I was in that situation, I definitely would have said something to the Zoom call guy because I do that now. Like if people are playing their music and it like I call it at my house ancillary noise, and we have a rule at our house, no ancillary noise, right? So if we're in the car, your phones are not on because I'm not going to listen to your crap in the back seat when I'm trying to drive, or we have the music on, or if I'm watching a show or whatever. Jen will sit there and try to play this stupid noise and whatnot on her phone, and I'm like, no, we're not doing ancillary noise. So ancillary noise pisses me off. And so it's rude. And I would have said to that guy, hey, guy, come on. You're on a Zoom call here. We can all hear what's going on. You're now infringing on me. The chewing thing, I would have just rolled my eyes at and probably just laughed and not said anything about that. The belch, yeah, the same thing. I mean, that's a good one or something like that, but definitely...
Close.
Definitely would have said something to the Zoom guy. Absolutely. Yeah.
It broke my heart, though, when she goes, sorry.
Oh, she did?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Straight up. The Chipotle smelled good, though. I haven't had Chipotle in a hot minute, and I feel like I need to slide in there. But, yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I was like, when I walked out and got my car, I was like, was I an ass?
No,
to have these thoughts?
No, not at all. I mean, people have made the world today their playground. And, it's like you go to the airport and you watch the behaviors of people there, too. And it's just disgusting. People
go
just
to the zoo and watch people walk a straight line. Won't happen.
Yeah.
Will not happen. Not a chance. I'm serious. You ever been in the zoo with your family and try to just like walk the path and you've got people walking around like they're Ray Charles? That's where I will say something. I already hate the zoo. They're animal prisons. You think hyenas want to be in Kansas City in August? Hyenas always laughing, obnoxious animals laying in depression. That's not a hyena. That's a dog. You just dyed it with spots and made me believe it's a hyena.
That's right.
By the way, Molly and Gary are running directly into me because they don't know where their kids are and they're on their cell phone.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, I guess you've had a bad zoo experience.
Terrible. Been in the zoo twice. It rained. And we tried to hang out on an undercarriage, like an undercarriage, not that underhang.
Yeah.
And of course, the zoo people are like, you need to keep walking.
Yeah.
Like,
why? It's raining.
Monsoon.
Yeah. You need to keep walking. No, I don't. It's pouring out here. I'm not going to keep walking.
Writers and press can only stand underneath that.
Yeah, right.
Was it
Radio
St. Joe?
people stand outside and get struck by lightning.
See, text line. People at the zoo also walk 6 wide.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there is something to be said for that. But like people at the gym will be listening to their music out loud. I'm like, come on. I mean, wear a pair of headphones, or because at the J we've got signs all up and big signs up. Do not use your phone on the fitness room floor. And I find it to be very rude if you're at the gym or someplace that's public And you're just on a phone call. You know, we used to, back in the day with the Bluetooth, we always used to call these people the douche tooth guys because they would walk around and have these conversations like they were important. And, you know, I just feel like you're infringing on others when you do stuff. People just don't have an understanding of personal space. They don't understand how to behave. And it's really since COVID. I mean, all the rules of norms of human life have been kind of thrown out the window, and everybody just operates like it's their own personal playground.
Somebody said, she's 80, bruh. Maybe she can't control it. We don't know if she was 80, bruh. I just know that I can control my mouth when I eat. Somebody says, no, not at all, Dusty. You're not an ass. You were raised with manners, and a lot of people are not these days.
That's exactly right. And that's what it is. It comes down to manners. It comes down to being a normal human being and being able to live with others and be a society. I mean, Costanza said it. We're living in a society.
I almost went to my mechanic, and I'm like, hey, man, I think I have a flu. I'm not going to be able to make this one. I'm going to have to get out of here. He's like, well, it's the #1 oil change place. I'm like, doesn't really matter. He goes, who are you, Darren Peterson? No. But yeah, I don't know, man. Mac, you're like more accepting than most people, at least these two in this room that talk a lot. Am I wrong? Am I?
Wait till he gets 10 more years on him, Dusty, of experiencing people belching at the Jiffy Lube.
Never mind.
Like, have you ever gone to the store and it's been a FaceTime call and they're out of macaroni and cheese and they have to have the conversation about it in front of everyone in the middle of the aisle?
Yeah, it only happens to me when I order my chicken tenders and they come wrong. So yeah, don't get ketchup. Yeah,
because you've had a great oil change experience.
I was about to say this is better than my last oil change when I flipped the guy off and cursed him out.
They tried to rip you off or something, right?
They ripped me off. They ruined my car, and then a guy wouldn't move 10 feet. Old guy rolling his eyes at me, trying to get out of the parking lot. I can't move. Leave. I can't leave here.
And then he got the old #1.
Exactly. Yeah. He was
while you're listening to the old #5s.
And so my biggest thing is like I react the way that I react, right? I channel a lot of stuff inside my body. So when something does happen, I explode, right? And it's not necessarily that instance. It's probably 1,000 different instances that added up. But you just start to witness the behaviors of people and the way that they act. And you're like, I just can't tolerate this. Like the people who used to show up to pick up the kids at school that would park in the handicap spot. You're not handicapped. And they would go, well, it's just I don't care if it's just for a minute. You're not handicapped. You should not be parking in these spots. Like stuff like that bothers me. And it just, I can feel the anxiety already creating inside of me thinking about this kind of stuff because I'm a rule follower. And my wife will tell you, she hates the fact that I am a rule follower. If speed limit 70, you're going 70, you know? Like that's the way that I've always been. I've always been a guy that's followed the rules. Never going to break the rules. Like I'm watching the Olympic events right now, Dusty. I told you I don't have the stamina to be able to do something like that. I'd be afraid because I'd break an arm or something like that. And I'm not interested in that kind of behavior. And I've never really been a person who breaks a lot of the rules, you know? And so when I see people just behaving like the world is their own oyster and it's their own bedroom and nobody else is existing in it, it drives me nuts. It really does. It's just unselfish.
Somebody make Arrowhead parking lot their own bedroom on top of a hood of a car.
Right, yeah, it was funny. Yeah, I did. Yes, in a preseason game, yes.
Did you go interrupt that one?
No, I just kept walking. I mean, what am I going to do? Yeah,
hell yeah, brother.
Give a round of applause. Way to go.
I've been pounded this week.
I mean, of the things I've seen at the Arrowhead parking lot, the two people getting it on the hood of the car is #1.
We'll get into some sports on the other side, I promise. We'll talk Chiefs and Terry Bradshaw. How those two connect, we'll figure that out here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for K-State athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Fellas, you know what time of the year it is. It's the season of love. Sex, intimacy, and love are essential to fulfilling relationships. Erectile dysfunction, though, can take a serious toll on all of that, stealing enjoyment, weakening intimacy, and placing stress on partners that can feel overwhelming. But ED doesn't have to continue impacting your relationship. Remember, men, it's not just about you. We all understand how important sex is in a relationship for you and for your partner. Erectile dysfunction can take that away, often creating serious strain on the relationship as well. That's why you should go see my people over at Heartland Men's Health. Heartland Men's Health treatments work when the pills or the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to the sex, intimacy, and love and bring you closer together. Heartland Men's Health has 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Kansas; Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs Springs and Lee Summit and North Kansas City. Call them today at 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Guys, Hy-Vee has us covered this Valentine's Day. No matter how you celebrate, Hy-Vee has everything we need to make Valentine's Day special. I love it because it's a one-stop shop for everything. Flower arrangements. They've got beautiful floral arrangements for everybody. You can pick them up or have them delivered. Hy-Vee also has home-cooked meal options where they'll do everything, and then you will look like the superstar in the kitchen. And so many great gift ideas as well, including chocolate and retail gift cards. Just one stop to make this the sweetest Valentine's Day ever, only at Hy-Vee.
Feeling the squeeze of high prices? Then stretch your budget this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Stock up and save big on budget-stretching deals throughout the store, like chicken drumsticks, 99 cents a pound. 5-pound bag of one-step potatoes, $1.48. Hy-Vee butter, $2.99, and Lay's potato chips, just $1.99. Order through aisles online and leave the shopping to us. Don't miss the 3-day budget stretcher sale this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Hey, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And Rob, I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC will feature the biggest names who made the World Cup in Kansas City possible, plus the biggest storylines heading into this summer's tournament. This is not a podcast about soccer. Don't get us wrong. This is a podcast about Kansas City. This is a podcast for Kansas City. And this is a podcast that'll tell the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes will be released every Wednesday starting on March 4th, as well as video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ's social channels.
Subscribe and download to Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series with myself, Rob Bretton, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Thank you for a great 2025 and promise to continue giving you reason to shop at Shawnee Mission Ford in 2026. Great selection of new and used vehicles, large discount, top trade allowance, and mobile service when you need it. There's no reason to go anywhere else. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more in 26.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
On the Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown, 15 minutes. Kansas side 70 eastbound from 435 to 670 is an 11-minute drive. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
To wrap up our conversation that we just had to start the show, I would say that overall my feeling was...
I'm like pissed.
Like pissed.
Like pissed, so you weren't pissed.
I'm like pissed.
You were like pissed. Yeah. I saw a message today from our friend Billy, and he sent me a DM. And I don't know if this is true or not. Again, with the internet, you don't know. But he sent me this this thing, and I'll show it to you guys, and I'll show it up to the screen as well. They're calling a bag out the Bram on Tuesday versus
I'd wear a paper bag too if I was them.
They're going to bag
Thanks
out
a lot,
the
fellas.
Bram.
God bless.
Is that real?
I don't know, but it is a graphic. It says, pack the place, bring the noise. K-State versus Baylor at 8 o'clock Tuesday. Wear your paper bag. I hope there's like 100,000 people there with paper bags on their heads at the K-State game. That would be awesome, man. That'd be so cool. K-State making national news, too. I was watching a little bit of PTI yesterday. I mean, you know it's bad when the Nationals are talking about you, right? Like, the Nationals talk Darren Peterson all week, and for obvious reasons. And now the Nationals are talking K-State, and they're like, what is this guy doing out there in Manhattan? Like, nobody, in my opinion anyway, that I've seen, supports Jerome Tang for the way that he handled those kids. And at the end of the day, you're the coach, you're the recruiter, man.
There's two people that you know very dearly that support Jerome Tang.
Absolutely. Publicly.
Dana and Parks.
They're all in.
Yeah.
Love it. Love the comments.
K-State is about to lose by 25 this weekend. They play at Houston. Yeah, Dana and
25,
Scott,
that'd be good.
Dana and Scott, they're all about it. They say, I love what he did. Yeah, the hell with this. Stand up. Stand your ground.
Do they know how college sports works these days? I'm not taking a
She
shot.
went to KU. So
I know she did. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, believe me, I've heard. But they support Jerome Tang.
Oh, yeah. I talked to Scott yesterday for like 20 minutes because I was talking about World Cup and like who he thinks is the favorite. I think I'm going to put my money on Spain, who I think is the favorite.
Okay.
But obviously France will be a team because they got Mbappe, who's the best player in the world, and he still is only like 25 years old, even though he's been in 2 World Cups or whatever it is.
It's nuts.
And then there is an opportunity for one of the greatest matches of all time to happen on Arrowhead's grass because I think Argentina and Portugal will advance from the group stage.
Not bigger than Chiefs Bills.
The F it's not, dude. I mean, I think Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are 2 very big superstars in the United States. You have a chance to have Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi play each other on Arrowhead's turf.
Oh my.
And Scott was saying, I thought this was great. By the way, him and Rob Brenton are going to be on the Pitch podcast, so you want to check that out.
Oh, yeah.
In March when that starts for the World Cup.
Heck yeah.
Those 2 guys are geeked out for this. They're the soccer guys,
Yeah,
right?
they're soccer guys. They should be, yeah.
You can
Imagine
already
us getting the Super Bowl.
You can already go follow that podcast, so that way when the first time it's posted, notification, bang, you'll go listen to it.
And it's like how I am with Jack Caglione is how Rob has been with Christian Pulisic. Like, that's his guy. And Scott is a huge German soccer nut.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, Germany's not going to do it this year. But, you know, they had their run. I was like, is Thomas Mueller still playing? He goes, I don't know. I actually need to check that and look it up. And I'm like, well, he played in the last one. He was like 40.
Yeah.
And now he plays for an MLS team, I believe, which is always kind of the segue of like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go get my American dollars, figure out where I want to live, Florida, California, New York, and then retire here in the United States. But yeah, he said that alone, he goes, you think World Cup tickets now are in the thousands? He goes, that game will be in the tens of thousands.
Holy, just to get into that game. And people will pay that kind of stuff.
I mean, those are probably, I know that we're probably going to get a text that's going to say Pele, but like, again, Scott made a great comparison. He was like, saying Pele's the best is like saying Babe Ruth is the best, right? The talent just wasn't the same. Ronaldo and Messi on the same field in their last World Cup, you need to sell no more.
Yeah.
Like, I could go downstairs and sell that to every station.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, Ronaldo, Messi, what else do you need? Maybe one more thing. Never going to play in the World Cup again. They're the 2 greatest soccer players to ever touch God's earth.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thanks. And it will be, like, I can only imagine what 5 rows up, 50-yard line for that ticket.
Oh, God. I mean, you said $10,000 for getting, so I can only imagine.
That's like 364, row 12, double Z, seats 1 and 2.
That's exactly right.
That's going to be like $9,000.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Get in, upstairs, nosebleed, you know, like where we have our seats and Ralph has in the lower bowl for Chiefs games. Yeah, I'm sure you're looking probably $25,000 or something.
We know
like
that
that
Argentina, England, and the Netherlands are all going to have base camps here. So those are 3 powerhouses in the world of football that will be in the World Cup. And then obviously Argentina will play here, Portugal will play here, and then they have the opportunity to play each other. And that will be a stage that will be a globally like game that every TV will be on. I mean, all of Argentina will be on it, all of the United States, all of Portugal, every country will watch that game. It'll be played in this effing city.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, no, that is cool. And I mean, you know, people I know still with the, you know, the stadium stuff, but look how geeked up you're getting about the World Cup coming here. Wait till that new stadium opens and we're getting the Super Bowl here, we're getting the Final Four here, we're getting, you know, WrestleMania and all that kind of stuff that's going to bring even the bigger stars, you know, than we've already seen. And we're going to have so many opportunities. Now, this is just a taste, guys, of what is going to be coming to Kansas City once the new Chiefs Stadium opens in 2031, and we'll see all of these big-time events come here. here. I'm sure there'll be a bowl game that rolls through. I'm sure they'll be bidding on the college football playoff as well to be here in Kansas City. And so this is going to be a great test for people to realize how impactful that new stadium is going to be, what kind of, events we can bring into town, and we'll knock it out of the park because we do every single time we have a big event, here in Kansas City. And so this is just the beginning. Nothing will be as big, obviously, as what we're about to experience, this spring and summer. But I think, this is just the beginning. This is just the first step in Kansas City truly becoming a global icon. And I think having the new stadium really gives us that final leg up on other cities and the ability now to host these big events to give us that opportunity to truly be that global city. And so this is going to be fun, man. I'm really excited about the World Cup. I was talking to people yesterday, like, what are you doing for summer vacation? I'm like, we got the World Cup here in Kansas City. I don't think we're doing anything, for summer vacation this year because of all the stuff that's going to be going on here. I don't want to miss anything that's taking place in KC.
You putting money on the Chiefs winning the AFC next year?
Probably not yet. I'm not. I'm gonna let's see what goes on for the future. Let's see the roster additions that are made, and then we'll see. After draft day, about May 15th, probably. Then you can start putting money on the Chiefs to win the AFC again.
I think it kind of depends on like the progression of Patrick Mahomes, because again, I'm not trying to be a hater, but I just find it very hard to believe that he'll be back by week 1. Now, I'm not going to disapprove like what modern medicine is and science is with injuries, because I think that we are seeing the evolution of that, in fact, happen right before our eyes, because we've seen that obviously Achilles injury to George Kittle. He says he'll be back by week 1, and he got hurt like 5 weeks after Patrick Mahomes. And I would assume that the Achilles injury is one that keeps people out much longer. We saw the Aaron Rodgers saga. I mean, he never played, but he was out throwing footballs and standing and like walking backwards. And you would think that 10 years ago, if you had an Achilles injury, you didn't start walking for at least 6 months. Again, I don't know medicine, stuff like that, but I would assume that even that has evolved. But I think that if like Mahomes is at St. Joe and there's clear and evident signs that he is ready to go week 1, I think you have to run and take that to be AFC West winners, AFC number 1 seed, like the overall best team in the AFC, and then possibly put a wager on Mahomes being MVP, because it's like we talk about with Bobby Witt Jr. If Bobby Witt Jr. wins MVP, the Royals probably won the Central. That's just my opinion. And I think if that's the case and you think the Royals can win the Central, you would have to tell yourself, at least this is just the degenerate gambling in me, sorry. But again, you'll get there. And the thing is that, like, you have to think, okay, why would the Royals win the Central? Would it be because of their pitching rotation? If that's what you believe, then maybe you can parlay that with Cole Reagans maybe wins the AL Cy Young. Or you think that Bobby Witt Jr. is just going to be insanely better than he's ever been, which is always a possibility, at least this young for Bobby Witt Jr., because one thing that we are going to see is how quickly guys are caught up to speed, because we are fortunate enough to have the World Baseball Classic, where a lot of people would say, why would you watch Team Italy? Vinny Pasquantino and Jack Caglione are going to play on that team, and it's going to be a big stage. So, like, we're going to see, like, what Jack Caglione has worked on in this offseason, and we're going to get a real quick answer with the World Baseball Classic to see where his timing is, where he's learned on the bigger stage of maybe just a regular season game against Chicago in July. Now he's going to have a World Baseball Classic where he's putting on his country's flag and playing for his team.
Yeah, we'll get back to the Chiefs in just 1 second, but the World Baseball Classic, I was talking to somebody affiliated.
Did you see the new promo video?
No, I have not yet. So I was talking to somebody affiliated with the Team USA yesterday, right? And we were talking about a couple of days ago, would you rather win the World Series or the World Baseball Classic? And I said to this person, I said, do you think Team USA would rather win the World Baseball Classic or the World Series? And he goes, I'll be honest with you, Team USA only cares about beating Japan. The balance of power is now shifted, and the Americans are pissed. And so they've got Japan in their sights right now in the World Baseball Classic because of the way the Ohtani and Trout thing went down, right? And that's been kind of festering for a lot of the American players right now. And so it's not about winning the World Baseball Classic. They said it's about beating Japan because that's the new rival in baseball right now. And so I think that'll be great when the United States and Japan play each other. I mean, we saw it a couple of years ago how awesome that was with Mike Trout and Ohtani, and we may get that type of scene again. So I think that'll be cool. That's going to be, that's going to be one hell of a game when the United States and Japan have the opportunity to play each other. But the Chiefs thing, I saw this thing yesterday, and they reseeded the playoffs based on one-score games if they were all reversed. Chiefs would have been the number 1 seed in the AFC if the one-score games were all reversed.
Well, we had this argument last year where if they lost those games, they'd be 6-11.
That's exactly right. And we saw that, right, this year. We saw the one-score games reversed this year. But if they were the other way, the Chiefs would have been the 1 seed. And I continue to just go back and say, this is an Andy Reid thing. This is not a talent thing. This is not we don't have the right guys in place. It was the finishing. And teams that, tend not to finish or make those mistakes, my opinion is you always go back to the head coach and say, are we focusing on the little things? Because one-score games, man, that's one play here, one play there. That's not a whole need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And so I think for the Chiefs right now, the obvious talent issues need to be changed on defense. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But, man, if you can just reverse a couple of these one-score games, we're talking about a completely different season, and the one-score games do come down to discipline and focus at the end of the day.
I think there's, many layers to the discipline because I think the discipline relies on Andy Reid himself to know that, what he's drawing up isn't working. And that is kind of, to me, like a mind F, right, where you're like, well, the last 3 years went to the Super Bowl. How is what I'm doing now not working currently? Well, the NFL evolves quickly. Like we just talked about sports and medicine, how quickly that evolved. You're watching the NFL go from, Brady and Manning to Mahomes and Allen to the Super Bowl was Darnold and Drake May, right? And the reason for that was because you had defenses and running games. Whereas the Chiefs, when they first started this dynasty, they didn't have really a defense. And then they went and got a defense that was Spags' style, which is bend, don't break. We don't care about the yardage. We just care about the points. And they still did a really good job this year, not allowing a ton of points. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
But the problem was the discipline within Andy Reid of knowing to himself to be like, you know what, this isn't working anymore. This isn't, I need an upgrade to what is happening now. And so that is what, to me, is the first layer of this whole season was that the plays that worked the last 2 years are not working anymore. I watched an excellent video that I think Parkins was talking about on his show on FS1 about how 2 Seattle defenders noticed a glitch in Drake May's game. Well, they had 2 weeks to prepare for that.
Yep.
And that was the argument from the other guys like Greg Jennings and everybody else. And they're like, well, and Danny's take was like, well, this is Drake May doing this. This is going to spread like wildfire in the offseason. Everyone's going to watch these, it's like a tell from a pitcher. Like if he tips his glove, and that's why I'm a little nervous with Noah Cameron. Noah Cameron had a great year last year. Well, now there's been an entire offseason where people that are going to watch the Royals are going to be like, we have, over 100 innings to see what Noah Cameron was doing so well.
Did you see how baseball fixed that this week? Coaches are now not allowed out of the coaching box because they were stealing signs and relaying them to the players.
That's the first and third base coach rule. Yeah. So I think with Drake May doing that and having 2 weeks to look at that, a lot of people that don't have the long seasons the Chiefs had ways to look at it and be like, okay, how are they doing this? What are they doing? Why are they getting us off the game plan? And you saw how that changed this year. Denver knew how to beat our defense on 3rd and 16 to continue to have the ball and win the game.
Right.
Last year that didn't, or 2 years ago that didn't happen. The year before that didn't happen. And people evolved. People watched this Chiefs offense and learned how to stop it. And I always go back to being a kid and playing Madden. There was always that superior player and you just didn't know why you couldn't beat him. And then you realize, he's playing a cover 2, forcing me to throw it quick outside, and he's getting a pick 6 every time. How do I beat that? So then you just go and practice how to beat a cover 2, and that's what nerds did when I was in middle school and high school. And so that's
Madden wasn't that intense when I was playing it.
Well, it was Tecmo Bowl.
It was, and then the early Madden stages, but it never got to that level.
Back in your day, the strategy was run to the sideline, run back to the sideline, run the other sideline.
The strategy was just get Bo Jackson on your team.
Correct. And mine was to have Michael Vick. But the thing about that is that there is a lot of evidence out there and a lot of blueprints of what the Chiefs did. And Andy Reid gambled on himself and his game plans and his offense, and we saw a stagnant, stale offense.
And we also saw a very predictable offense, too, and an offense where everybody knew what was coming,
Which
right?
That's discipline on Andy Reid.
Absolutely.
That's more than just being frustrated with the offsides, with the laying on the ground, with the false starts, with the not being everywhere where you're supposed to be. That, to me, tells you that Andy Reid's got to have that Michael Jackson moment where you look the man in the mirror and start that and make the change there.
Yeah, no, you absolutely have to. And that's why I've been kind of hard on Andy Reid this offseason. It starts with the head football coach, right? The praise goes all to the head football coach. The blame goes to the head football coach. And I think he's been a boss, man, this offseason with the way he's done everything. They're bringing back another defensive line coach now that, was helping Chris Jones, who went up to Nebraska last year. So there's more changes that are coming on both sides of the ball when it comes to the coaching staff standpoint. But it really is the discipline stuff, because you go back to Xavier Worthy when they were saying he's lazy, basically, is what they were saying. When he's not getting the ball, when he knew it wasn't a passing play, he was basically lazy. That goes back to coaching. They rectified that with the new wide receiver coach. But it also goes back to Andy Reid and the message that he's going to deliver when these OTAs and all this stuff starts, when they officially kick off the season, is the message I think he needs to deliver is there is going to be no mental mistakes. We are not going to tolerate penalties. We are not going to tolerate the turnovers. We are not going to tolerate laziness. We are not going to tolerate you lining up, loose when it's going to be a run play versus when you know it's going to be a pass play. You've got to be the same on every single play. Like, that's the message that Andy Reid needs to send. Last year is gone. This year is new, and we expect more. The expectation is going to be high, and we are not going to sit here and settle for the way that you guys played last year and the way we coached last year. And you take the blame for it all together, and Andy says, I got to do a better job, and he's right. He does need to do a better job at holding those guys accountable. And I think this year, based on what we've seen already with this first month of the offseason, I'm very positive that Andy Reid's going to rectify this thing, and this team is going to be back, and we're not going to miss a beat next year, because they don't like this. I can tell you, they do not like this situation that they are in right now.
One guy, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying that this situation, I think the lesson for people around the league and around sports needs to be that the end result doesn't justify or doesn't mean that you had a good season. Making the Super Bowl, heck, winning the Super Bowl doesn't equal how good of a team you really were. Right? Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and a couple other defensive players like Chris Jones and McDuffie can mask a lot of things. And that's the point that I think we really need to drive home this offseason, is that this was a multi-year problem, and Andy Reid doesn't have one offseason to fix. He's got the last three off seasons to really rectify, and one. That's what he has to do. So it's a bigger job than I think we're even making it.
And you could also say that narrative's true for New England, because as soon as they lost the Super Bowl, everybody turned cloak on them.
Oh, big time.
This proves you their schedule was easy. The quarterbacks they played in the playoffs, when before it was like, hey, they won, they got there, they did this, they made everything. And then it was like, will they be back?
Well,
Are they really that good of a team? Or did they just, disguise their
Eagles.
season?
The Eagles win, and everyone's like, oh, they don't need to change. We'll keep A.J. Brown. But remember that season when they won and they beat us? Remember how
he was reading books?
A lot of drama. He's reading books.
Yeah.
Every day we're talking about this team. Can they really do it? And they're like, oh, well, we won. I guess that justifies everything. No, this is a lesson that just because you win doesn't mean you shouldn't
change. And you saw how their GM tried to fix it. He put an inflatable Easter bunny in the locker room.
Yeah, that worked. That was good. Yeah, I like the inflatable
days.
Easter bunny. That was a good move by doing something like that. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Well, so is Gary Myers.
Yeah.
He's got
You're
some
an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
interesting things to say, but so does Terry Bradshaw. And you know what? Standing ovation for Terry Bradshaw. In fact, in this article from Awful Announcing, he did compare Sam Darnold to Rodney Dangerfield because he never gets any respect, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, quote, I was reading this morning about Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs, and has he lost it? And I'm like, are you kidding me? He went to 5 Super Bowls in 6 years, and they're going. Has he lost it? Lost what? I'll tell you what he's lost. He lost a lot of players to injuries. Critics are just idiots. Idiots, man. They have no idea what they're talking about. End quote.
Yeah, way to go, Terry. That's where I am, too. The whole Andy Reid has lost it thing is like, come on. He had a bad year. Have you ever dominated every year of life?
Hell yeah. Come on, man.
So the answer is no. Right?
Again, he hasn't dominated in a couple of years, but I am with Terry here. People need to chill. It is not one season. I will say that again. It is not one season.
I totally disagree with everything
I know
you said
do.
there.
I know you do.
They went to the Super Bowl and won it.
Again,
I don't
you disagree with it. Yeah, it justifies, and this is how you end up here. Because you don't change.
I'll take the 6-11 after 3 straight Super Bowls. I learned to accept. I'm okay with a 1-6-11 season after 3 straight Super Bowls.
But that shouldn't be the case with the best quarterback to ever touch God's earth in the football world and miss the playoffs when he's 30 years old.
Right. They should not have been 6-11, but I'm not going to sit here and say seasons aren't good. Flags fly forever. That's all that matters is winning championships. That's all that people talk about. I was with people yesterday who have multiple rings
with that at all.
and won
That's
championships.
literally not what I'm saying at all.
No, but you're saying just because you win the Super Bowl doesn't mean you had a good season.
No, it doesn't mean you were a good team. But a good season doesn't mean you're a good team. Doesn't mean you don't need to change.
Well, when you win the Super Bowl, you don't change. And
that's what I'm saying. That's a problem. That is a lesson that needs to be learned, Bob. But the New York Giants limp in as a wild card. They keep that same team. They re-sign everyone, and they don't get back.
And I'll take the Scott Pioli approach on you on this one. When the Chiefs went 10-6 and went to the playoffs, he goes, I should have fired Todd Haley as the head coach after that season, but I didn't. Because we went to the playoffs and everybody would have crushed me and called me a moron and called me an idiot. And so that was 2010 before social media was rampant like it is right now. If you fired a coach after going to the playoffs and after a 10-6 season in a franchise that didn't have much playoff success, you probably would have been run out of town. And Scott Pioli wanted to fire Todd Haley after that season, but said, I can't. We went to the playoffs. And so that's what happens. Winning does mask everything. Winning is the ultimate cure-all in sports. And when the season is done, when your year is done, when your time is done, people are going to look back and go, Andy Reid, 5-time Super Bowl champ or 3-time Super Bowl champ. they're not going to remember the bad years. They're not going to remember the bad. And when you win, it's very difficult to go out there and make a lot of changes because you're experiencing that success. And so I think it's with anything in life. You're not going to make changes at anything you do until you fail because everything's going good. Everything's going great. Everything's fine. Everything's wonderful. We're not going to make changes. Nobody makes drastic changes until they're punched in the face, and they have to make drastic changes when the world blindsides them. And that's what happened to the Chiefs right now. They got blindsided, and now they know that they have to make changes.
I'm kind of with Mac on this because
they weren't blindsided at all.
They were bad from the jump, and we just had the conversation about how if they would have lost all the one-score games, they would have had this record last year, and if they did the opposite, then they would have had the last year's record this year.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make them a great team. It makes them fortunate to win those games. Whereas, like, you watch teams that have it all together and know what they're doing. Like, we do have a luxury in Kansas City to watch Patrick Mahomes be a quarterback, and he is an ace up your sleeve. Like, you can pull that out at any time.
Mm-hmm.
4 years ago, I don't know if we still have that dominant of an ace up our sleeve
I
anymore.
agree with that.
So
yeah.
I think that's something where, like, if you get stuck and comfortable, that's when you get lazy and lose it. Whereas, like, if you keep trying to reinvent yourself and keep trying to do things differently, even if you did just win, you're going to, like, even if I shoot a good golf round, I'm still going to be like, well, you need to work on your wedges and your putting game. Even if you did beat the other three guys you played with, I could go back out there and be like, I don't need to hit it on the driving range. I don't need to go make practice my putting or chipping or like that. I shot an 82 last time I played. I'm good. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to go out there and shoot a 91 because I think what I did the last time was good enough when I can always get better and always change things, no matter if I was on top.
What were you screaming about last offseason that the Chiefs needed to change?
I
Because
mean,
I don't remember having those.
the running back.
Well, the running back thing, yes.
And that was
obviously.
a problem from the jump.
Yeah,
And we were sitting the season before talking about the offensive line and needing a tackle and not being rectified either. Like this,
and they got the guy. They drafted him.
2 years, a year later.
But,
we went through
sometimes
whole
that guy
season.
isn't there, though, too. I mean, sometimes you have to think about, like, who do they miss out on left tackle? Had they signed Trent Williams...
I could find free agents that they missed out on.
I'm sure you probably could, so could
Exactly.
I. But I'm telling you, like, I'm giving you the story. They wanted Trent Williams. Trent Williams was going to come to Kansas City. His heart was, no pun intended, in San Francisco, wanted to stay, ended up staying there. Had that deal gotten finalized with Trent Williams... For the last 5 years, we would not have been looking and talking about a left tackle, and they could have focused their resources elsewhere. That plan fell through. And so now they were going, okay, now what do we do? Because we thought we were getting this guy here in Kansas City. Had they signed Trent Williams, think about all the different things that they would have been able to do. You wouldn't have had to take Josh Simmons in the first round, right? You wouldn't have had to go out and waste money on Orlando Brown. You wouldn't have had to go waste draft picks and trade for Orlando Brown. They thought Trent Williams was coming here. That plan obviously didn't work. There's a lot of plans that happen and take place behind the scenes that never come to fruition. It doesn't mean they aren't trying. It doesn't mean they aren't reversing things. It doesn't mean they aren't changing things. Sometimes the best laid plans just don't happen because at the end of the day, it does take two to tango. And you may want to make a move for this guy. He may not want to come here. You want to make a trade for that guy. That team may not want to trade for you. So there are certain things that happen over the course of time that, you know, it's the butterfly effect. If Trent Williams would have been signed, how drastically different this team would have looked from a offensive and defensive standpoint because you could have used resources elsewhere instead of trying to find that left tackle for the last 5 years.
We do have a poll question on Friday because it's, I think it merits it. Saturday it is KU at Ames against Iowa State. KU 5.5-point dogs plus 200 on the money line. Mac, you know where we're going with this. We're going money line, right? We're not taking
baby.
the spread.
Nope.
Spreads for the week.
Yeah.
Be a man. Be 40.
Straight up, baby. Let's
Bet the
go.
money line.
Straight up KU?
Yeah, let's go. Absolutely. Ride it.
So, well, it is going to be Saturday. Friday poll question: how many minutes will Darren Peterson play on Saturday versus Iowa State? We have the poll question up, and I think it is at what, 21.5? 24.5 minutes. Over or under 24.5 minutes for Darren Peterson on Saturday so far?
It's a hell of a number.
Thank you. So far, 40 people have voted, and 62.5% are saying
under.
Over.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Optimistic.
You know what?
Optimistic on a Friday.
I think based on the week that was for Darren Peterson, I mean, this guy was getting destroyed nationally. He was getting destroyed locally. Yeah. Everything I listened to and watched this week had some kind of mention of Darren Peterson on it. You would think, like, eventually not stamina. What's the word I'm looking for? Would take over where you're tired of getting, destroyed by everybody. You just go, I'm going to go out there and play.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when PTI is talking about you, when Colin Cowherd's talking about you, when WFAN in New York is talking about you, these people don't talk college basketball at this time of year unless there's a major story going on. And that's a major story.
Or there's the number one pick in the NBA going to one of those markets as well. So, again, 24 and a half minutes over under. You could also do another poll question. More minutes or points for Darren Peterson in this game? Because watch him go out there and drop 40 and just tell everybody to just shut their mouth.
And that's what I'm thinking. I think it's going to be a huge game for Darren Peterson. I really do.
7 minutes, 4 points. Coming up next, Coming up next, one judge to another judge. I got a feeling he's going to be somebody's Richard of the week. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Every Hardee's is closed. Well, that's dog.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're getting into that time of the year. It is spring break season. It is travel season. Excuse me. And you're going to be going up to the airport. You need to park at Park and Go because these guys are awesome. We love our experiences with Park and Go every time we travel out of KCI. We make our reservation at bookparkandgo.com as soon as we make our flight reservation. And then, hey, we prepay as well because I like to save a buck, and you're going to save money when you prepay at Park and Go. And then you're ready to go for that all-covered parking. You show up on the day of your flight, and they direct you to that covered parking spot that's been reserved exclusively for you. And as soon as you get to that spot, within seconds, if not before, the van is there to take you right to the airport terminal. You're never waiting. You're never worried. You're never panicked when you use my friends over at Park and Go. And I love them for when you get back as well. Just grab your bag and walk outside, and the van's waiting for you. You jump on it, and it's right back to the trunk of your car you go. So join their frequent parker program like we did and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Hey guys, it's Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the upcoming World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch, KC features the biggest names who helped make the World Cup in Kansas City possible. And there was a lot of work, plus the major storylines heading into this summer's tournament.
This is so much more. This isn't just a podcast about soccer.
No, you're right, Rob. It's a podcast about Kansas City, for Kansas City, telling the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, along with video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
So make sure you subscribe. Download Beyond the Pitch KC with Rob Brennan and myself, Scott Parks, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When it's time to replace your appliances, Lowe's has you covered. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. And members get more like free delivery, haul-away, basic installation and parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select major appliances. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 2/25 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, Florida. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowes.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
It's impossible to have a bad day when you started with Chick-fil-A.
Hi, I'm Miles.
And this is Grant.
And the little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is
how the fluffy, crispy goodness wakes us up in the morning. The chicken is crispy, the biscuit is soft, it's iconic.
Throw some jelly on it, you can throw some honey on it. It helps me kick off the day.
The hash browns are great. And I really like the shape of them too. Little circles of crispy goodness. Yeah, those early morning chicken biscuits are just great, man.
Mornings are a little bit brighter with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange Juice. Available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Northland 29 northbound, heading into the 169 highway interchange. Things are heavy from North Oak Traffic Way with this detour that forces you up through the intersection and turning around on Inglewood Road. So that exit is very congested and backed up onto the freeway. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports. Bob Fescoe, Mac Morey, Dusty Likens with you on a Friday morning. Sun's coming up.
Starting to pop, Dusty.
Yep. Saturday, Valentine's Day, coming up in about an hour. I made some Valentine's Day cards for everyone at the station.
Oh, look at you.
I'm excited about that.
I mean, just to give you a tease,
okay.
When I used to be on Fox 4, I made one for Nick Vassos and Carly Ritter. And the one for Carly Ritter was a banger. Just saying.
Well, you going to tell us?
Yeah, it said, I am a huge fan of apple fritters, but you, ma'am, are much sweeter, Carly Ritter.
Oh, nice.
Smash. I'm waiting for that flex, Maloney.
I don't think you're going to get that one.
It was nice. It put a nice smile on her face
That's
and
very
made her
nice.
blush.
Yes.
Hey, it makes people feel good, you know? It really does.
Saturday going to be a wet one, though. It's going to rain
nasty.
all day.
All day, man.
Sounds like good
Gosh,
Valentine's
dang
Day to make a nice dinner at the house.
I looked at the forecast and I'm like, when's the rain going to start? Like 3 a.m. It's like it's all day long that's going to rain. So they're going to put a damper on your plans, but that's right. We're going to go to the UMKC game. That's our Valentine's Day plan.
Brew up, dog.
That's right. You better believe it.
Joe Judge.
But we would have to educate. This is always a tough conversation to have, and it's not a popular thing. This is the truth. We would have to educate significant others who may have been pregnant during the season. We're going to have a baby during the season. And you'd have to educate them on, you have this baby in the middle of the season. That father has to play good football, right? It's a day-by-day production business. He has to be ready to perform and go out there and play. And when I say that is, you need to let him sleep. He needs to be in another room, detached. You have to explain to the mother, like, hey, listen, he ain't waking up for midnight feedings. After the season, he's full metal jacket. You do whatever you want with him. He can change every diaper. But in the season, he's got to have a different priority. Now,
okay.
Get bent.
So, kiss my ass.
I mean,
there's two fathers in this room. You guys
That's
can have the
right.
floor if you'd like to think what you have to hear about what Joe Judge had to say.
Yeah, I
I
heard
agree.
That. Yeah.
Let that man sleep. He's making money for the family. He's going to turn that. You want to pay for that formula, or you want your guy to have 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, and IL deal, and you can pay for all the formula. Sign me up for the bad guy.
This guy's testified in court for something the other day, and I will say this: that guy sucks, and we can see now why he was a total failure as a head coach because his priorities are wrong. I think it was Judy Batista of NFL.com yesterday who quote tweeted and said, "I better never hear this guy say we're trying to raise good men and good family guys and good husbands and good fathers because that would be a blatant lie." Joe Judge sucks, and I know from being a dad, and we got David in here too, Mitchell's dad. They made us the banana cheesecake, the banana pudding cheesecake. Woo. I know with my kids, I'm at everything they do. I want to be part of everything with my kids. There is nothing better than being there and supporting and watching and enjoying what your kids are doing. I was actually having a conversation with somebody last night at a meeting that I was at, and it's we're all starting to get out of that age of where our kids need us anymore, right? They're starting to drive, they're starting to do things on their own, and you start to get a little sentimental about it. And you're like, damn, those 15, 16 years have gone by in a blink of an eye. And I wouldn't have traded it for the world. I wouldn't have missed a damn thing because of, work or something of that nature. I just think people have sometimes in sports just have these misguided views on how life works. And if I'm a parent, which I am, and I had kids that were being recruited by, where's he at, Ole Miss now still? Or did he go to LSU, wherever it is? And that guy's on the staff. My kid would never go play for a guy like that who is out of touch and completely lost into what matters in the world. And I just don't have the patience anymore for these people in sports who think like they've got these hard jobs and they can sacrifice all this stuff and make statements like that if you're going to have a baby, you better be in the other room because this guy's not going to get up for midnight feedings. What planet are you on? Planet Neanderthal there, Joe?
Yeah, you play basketball. You guys shouldn't have been up that late making that banana pudding cheesecake. The wife should have been in the kitchen making it. What the hell are you guys doing? His rival school's getting ready to come
David,
play.
seriously, what do you think about that? I mean, pipe in. You're a parent on this one.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, my wife's not listening right now. I guarantee you that. I'm probably safe to say whatever I want.
Do it.
I think to a degree there's probably, it depends upon the relationship with your spouse, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the first and foremost thing. It's a partnership, whatever your wife signs off on. And she may take a larger percentage of the duties, so to speak, when it's in season. But it's kind of one of those unwritten rules that you don't verbalize that out loud, and you certainly don't come across as if it's this way or the highway.
Yeah.
So,
because I would say, look what it got Stephon Diggs. He brought both of his kids' moms to the game. One was on the side, one was on the 50-yard line. One was up in a press box. Now he's single, trying to let his kids come to the game with his moms.
You know how many baseball players have the wife and girlfriend at the game at the same time, and how difficult it is? A lot.
Please educate me.
A lot.
Wife and girlfriend, so they're still married. They got the side piece there.
Yeah. They sit them in different sections.
Where can I come watch this?
Any ballpark near you?
Because this reminds me of the Office episode where Michael Scott goes to the guy and shakes his hand through the fence.
Ever hear of Kirby Puckett?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a wife and a girlfriend.
Kirby Puckett at one time, from what I was told, had the wife on one floor and the girlfriend on the other in a hotel.
So that's what happened to his eye. Sorry. I'm just trying to figure things out because I didn't know people had that big of balls to go with the.
Oh yeah,
that's a flex, dude.
Oh yeah,
you're bringing your side piece and your main piece.
Oh yeah, there's been conversations.
I'd be like having somebody else come in here and make banana pudding cheesecake.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Oh
you know
yeah.
What I mean?
Oh yeah. It happens though. It has happened over the years where you hear these stories. You're like, oh yeah, the girlfriend's in section 102, the wife's in 130, or whatever it is. You know, it's like, I mean, it's insane. Right. And so I heard that Stephon Diggs story, and I'm like, I've heard that one before.
This is just on the world stage.
Yeah. This isn't a Tuesday night at whatever ballpark it is in Tempe or someplace like this. It's a Super Bowl. You got to sit them in separate sections, Stephon.
Well, I mean, the one was like literally on the 50-yard line, front row. The other one was like in the press box with Robert Kraft, and then she just left at halftime. Told him good luck. What a wild story that
Stinky.
was.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It is, but it's not, because we've seen it before, and it's just crazy to me.
And after that drama happens, Nick Castellanos hits a home run to left, and the Cincinnati Reds are now without Nick Castellanos. Is he the outfield bat that should come to Kansas City? We'll discuss. 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
This is voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is time for me to tell you about my friends over at Underdog. And with basketball season in full swing, we've got fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties. And Underdog is the best place to get in on all of the action. And right now, you can make entries and win money in Missouri. And playing on Underdog is so easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats when it comes to points and rebounds, steals, and more. Once you get your entries right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. And playing on Underdog is a lot of fun for me because I like taking people from multiple sports and combining them into one entry to see what I can do. A little hockey here, a little basketball there. It's awesome on the Underdog app. So join me today and download that app. Use promo code BOB to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 with promo code BOB. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over, present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/underdog. play and get terms, _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Booth Creek Wagyu knows the only thing better than love in the air this Valentine's Day is the aroma of authentic American full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef on the grill. That's why Booth Creek has put together a world-class package of premium Wagyu steaks and buttery, succulent lobster tails ready for you to impress your sweetheart at both Booth Creek Wagyu locations at 95th and Knoll and 135th and Metcalf, or delivered anywhere in the country at boothcreekwagyu.com. Make sure this Valentine's Day is well done with Booth Creek Wagyu.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, you noticed. Yeah, I found it on eBay from a seller in Vegas. Pre-loved and perfect. She listed it and jackpot. Italian leather, classic trench silhouette. And did you see the braided buckle?
Hang on to your claim ticket.
Oh, I'll hang on to this forever. Have you been on eBay? There's so many finds. And I bet that diving watch would sell fast. Just saying.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love. The second I see that Chick-fil-A text in the group chat, I'm throwing my shoes on and running out the door. Hey, I'm Layla.
And I'm Kaylin.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is
how it feels like an easygoing morning.
The chicken adds the most flavor. It's juicy and seasoned.
The biscuit is just very light and airy and fluffy, just like a cloud.
I also love to put jelly on mine so it's sweet and savory.
It's a good start to the day.
Mornings are a little bit brighter with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange Juice. Available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mac Maury, and I wanted to let you know that I've started a new social media series called Mac's Minute. Real original, right? It gets released every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on our station's Instagram and Twitter accounts, plus YouTube Shorts. I'll give you my best take in 60 seconds on the biggest stories in sports and Kansas City. Make sure to follow on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube. Watch Mac's Minute every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on our social media platforms. This is Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
29 northbound detour slowing you as you head past North Oak. Traffic way it bogs down. Stays heavy into the 169 highway interchange. You're forced to go north to continue on 29. Folks are going through the intersection at Inglewood and turning back south. 71 northbound still rolling into downtown from 18th Street. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Listen to the Royals Spring Training Opener on Friday, February 20th, starting at 2 o'clock right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Seven o'clock spot here on 96.5 The Fan. Beautiful sunrise coming up. I mean, it could put me in the Zach Bryan mood of clean the house, mop the floors, wipe the drawers. Either way, we'll save that for Friday night patio sessions because it's probably going to go down tonight. Is our temperature going to be good today?
I think it's supposed to be in the 60s today. Yeah.
No, it's not. You're lying.
Yeah, no, 60s
yeah,
today.
62.
Yeah. I saw something the other day, actually this morning, it was out of Denver, and this weekend they're ready to break the record of 60-plus days in December, January, and February. They've had I think they said over 60% of their days so far this winter have been over 60 degrees out there. I mean, that's insane, and we're getting that same type of weather here. I wonder, when it's all said and done, how many of these 60-degree days we'll see until the end of winter, because winter doesn't end until the middle of March now, so we still got a long time. This is still technically winter, and it's still in the 60s out there. It's crazy. So go enjoy it today, because tomorrow's a washout.
You know more about the weather in Denver than Sean Payton does, and that's interesting because he's a Super Bowl winning coach,
Yeah,
and
that's
you've
true.
done radio for 16 years. Take that, Payton.
Yeah.
Be careful, though. He might fire your offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Back. No, you're probably the defensive coordinator. You're definitely not Dave Tobe. Tobe? Yeah.
No, I'm calling plays, baby.
Oh, okay. There you go. So Nick Castellanos was released yesterday, meaning you don't have to pay him Anything but the league minimum.
That's right.
The Cincinnati Reds, or the Philadelphia Phillies, whoever he played for, they have to pay his contract.
Right.
He is an outfielder with a above-average bat. Does that do it for you for the Kansas City Royals?
Well, it really does. And I was talking to a couple of people with other organizations yesterday, and they're like, yeah, this makes so much sense for the Royals to go out and get Nick Castellanos for one reason and one reason only. He's now in revenge mode, guys, because of the way the Phillies cut him. Yeah. Now, the backstory is really cool. He was pulled out of a game in June and got ticked off, so he came into the dugout with a beer, and that aggravated.
And wrote a letter.
Yeah, that's right. He wrote a letter too, right? So you got a little bit of baggage there, but I don't care about that kind of baggage because we're approaching a baseball season. Like I said, I was having conversations with people in baseball yesterday with various teams around the league, and not a lot of positivity coming out of folks about the labor deal that's going to take place in Major League Baseball. There are a lot of people right now that do believe we are in for the long haul in Major League Baseball when it comes to the labor dispute, which could mean lost games, could mean maybe no season next year. You know, it is a very tenuous situation for the labor in Major League Baseball. And I know the stories are already starting to come out and the negotiating is already taking place, you know, in public with all of that kind of stuff. So I look at what's going on in Major League Baseball right now is this is going to be the last year of kind of baseball as we know it, guys. I think this is going to be the last year of, you know, competing and having the Dodgers do their thing and everybody else not be able to do their thing. And there was an article on ESPN today that the Kyle Tucker deal is like the one that put everybody over the top in Major League Baseball. Everybody's just done now with what's going on. The majority of the owners, almost all of them now do want that salary cap. Those are two words that the Players Association is not going to stand for. And so we're in for an ugly fight. And what I'm getting at is since we are going to be in for that ugly fight and we don't know what's going to happen going forward in Major League Baseball, the Royals have to be all in and go for it because we don't know when this game is going to get back. We don't know how much baseball we're going to miss. And if you knew that this was potentially the last year for a little bit in Major League Baseball, you should be going all in. He's the perfect fit right now for Kansas City. And like you said, you only have to pay the league minimum because the Phillies are giving them that $20 million. It's the piece that they need. It's the perfect situation here in Kansas City to go get him. I think they need to do that. Plus, they spent $0 this offseason, you know, on the free agent market. This is the perfect scenario. This is that moment of zen that you're looking for. When's something going to happen good? Here it is. Nick Castellanos is available. You go out and get Nick Castellanos and pay him the league minimum and let him be your left fielder today. He would be a huge upgrade for the Royals.
I mean, it's just kind of fits the theme of what they want to do. Or obviously, you're not going to be, and they weren't in the Cody Bellinger sweepstakes. I still don't understand how Cody Bellinger can be honestly worth $155 million for whatever. But again, that's to each their own if they want to pay for that. But you are right because, you know, the words that we saw from the Passan article was that they're ready to burn this mother effort down.
Yep.
Now, I know talk is cheap, right? But, I mean, that's some serious verbiage there if that's a quoted saying from executives from around the league. Like, we're ready to just burn this thing down, which is scary for 2027 because if you are a Royals fan who's watching a guy like Bobby Witt Jr. in his prime, now are we just going to get a year off of baseball and miss out on Bobby Witt Jr.? Are we going to miss out on what this team could be? Like, especially if they're going to be a positive team moving forward and have a good year and be like, okay, we get to watch this team for the next few years kind of gel together. Vinny Pasquantino, 2-year extension, year gone. Jack Caglione, superstar in the making, hopefully, year gone. Carter Jensen, hometown kid, wants to be a star in Kansas City, year gone. This is just Kansas City problems. Imagine people in Pittsburgh that may not get to watch Paul Skeens, maybe not this year because there's some Cam Schlittler got that injury as well. He's got some back tightness. That just screams Paul Skeens.
Like that.
Well, you got to have somebody pitch in your rotation. Why not? But again, like people that want to watch that, people that are in arbitration years, year gone. This is a huge problem, and it sounds like both people are on each side with weapons and ready to just go to. It reminds me of the Battle of the Bastards scene from Game of Thrones when Jon Snow whips out the sword. You see all the infantry coming forward. The sword is basically the union, and everybody else is like the owners and the rich team saying we're not leaving this platform, like we are staying here. And it's just it sounds ugly, and when you hear the saying that we're going to burn this mother effer to the ground, You have my attention.
Yeah, you do. And the other thing Major League Baseball owners, I guess, are complaining about is their valuations are not going up that high as other sports are. You buy into an NFL team, you can turn around and sell for double your money the next day. And in Major League Baseball, that's just not happening to the franchise values. And, I don't know how this all plays out, Dusty. I really don't. And it's something that I know you thought the stadium talk was ad nauseum and bad stuff, and nobody wanted to hear about that. Wait till Major League Baseball is locked out and we have a labor dispute. And this time next year, there's no spring training, right? And Verns has to sit here in the cold weather with all of us, right? Those are the things that we're possibly looking at. No spring training, missed games. I mean, in 94, I was a senior in high school when that strike went down. I don't even really remember all that much. I just remember it being shut down, and then, football took off, and then that was that. And, I was a little upset. I'm like, oh, okay, baseball's going to be missed. That kind of sucks. But, you just kind of moved on back then, and it wasn't like it is today, I think, where we have all the opportunities to talk about it in social media. I met with somebody yesterday who's been very positive about that they're going to get a deal done. Baseball's not going to screw this up. Somebody in baseball, and that person yesterday was like, I don't feel good about this, man. I'm like, whoa, that's a big 180 change for where you've been, all positive that you think, the deal was going to get done. But if this Kyle Tucker deal really ticked everybody off, owners and players and everything like that, then boy, we got ourselves a problem and we got ourselves a fight, because it seems to me, to steal from World War II, you don't want to be fighting a two-front war. And I feel like in Major League Baseball right now, they're fighting like a 3 or 4 front war. They're fighting the TV revenues. They're fighting the disparity in big markets. They're fighting salary caps. They're fighting salary floors. It seems like there's so many internal things that owners need to get on the same page with and players need to get on the same page with. And until those sides get on the same page with each other, we can't have a negotiation between the two parties. And so it is going to get ugly, guys. I hate this for Major League Baseball because they're in such a great spot right now with the excitement in the game, the great stars in the game. It's as best as it's been in decades. And they're going to do what they always do. They're going to fight about billions of dollars and millions of dollars in the public eye when people can't afford to buy a dozen eggs and fill up the tank of their car and everything's out of control from a price standpoint. And these guys are going to fight over billions and millions of dollars. General public does not have the appetite to watch any of that. And I would not hold anybody guilty if they just decide to say, I'm done with baseball after all this. I would support you in that.
So now that podcasts are available on Netflix, you can go watch this. I think it came out yesterday, and it was the Ryan Russillo show, and he had passed it on, and they were talking about his take, Ryan's, was that MLB is being ruined by bad owners.
I don't disagree with that. There's a lot of bad owners in the game.
Pittsburgh, Miami.
Yeah. I mean, look at Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Like, he's happy to go 82 and 82 or whatever it is, 81 and 81 and get 3 million people in the ballpark. That's why, I mean, you look at the talent that they wasted. They never supported Ohtani and Trout with guys. They just didn't.
You know who I think what MLB baseball is? Because it seems like every time Major League Baseball gets something right, they go right back to their bad habit. Mm-hmm. Have you guys all had that friend that messes up? Not like, gets kicked out of school, but like messes up, like older in life, where you're like, oh man, DUI, what are you doing, bud? Mm-hmm. And he's like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore. And you're like, all right, here we go. And he starts showing signs, gets better, gets fit, gets, in a relationship. And then 6 months later, pop for something again. You're like, damn it, dude. Just when you were figuring it out and you had everybody believing that you were going to be fixed, you just did something again to debunk that and ruin it. That's baseball, right? Strike in the 70s, strike in the 90s, steroids. They just get this now. And what do all those things have in common, right? In the 90s, they were juiced out of their minds, but it was the most entertaining baseball we'd ever seen.
It's great.
But we were blinded by the success of Super Bowl wins. I kid. We were blinded by the success of the long ball, McGuire, Sosa, all these guys hitting, 50, 60 home runs, 70 home runs a year. Mm-hmm. And then it turns out, the reason they're doing it is because of PEDs and all of this. And everybody's like, shame on me for believing that baseball was doing the right thing. You go to the 90s with the strike thing. You have the Montreal Expos, who were the best team in baseball. You had the Royals, who were making a surge. You had prime Ken Griffey Jr., who was parking it every single time he played, and baseball was attractive. Strike. And then now you have the pitch clock. You have the renaissance of baseball. You have the faster games. All this stuff is happening. People are enjoying it. You can go to a baseball game on a Thursday night when your kids have school the next day and you're out of the ballpark in 2.5 hours.
Right.
And now we have this. Baseball is that friend that consistently keeps messing up right after you think they're right back on track. They fall right back off the wagon.
Yeah, and I know you and I are probably different. I'll always be a baseball fan. But in this day and age, baseball just can't afford to go away. There's too many other things to do right now. There's too many other exciting things to do right now. There's too many fun things to do right now that didn't exist in 1994. We have the world at our fingertips right now. And if baseball goes away and they're off the radar and they're not playing games, people will find other things to do, and then you're going to have to work, 5 times as hard to win that fan back. When you had all these fans, coming back to the ballpark, watching the games on TV, getting excited about your product, the spot that that Major League Baseball in right now is great. And they're going to go and poop that thing all away and have a work stoppage and have labor strife and have arguments in public. Like, it's going to be nasty. Guys are going to be yelling at each other. There's going to be great footage of agents yelling at the owners yelling at the Players Association, Scott Boras getting involved. Like, I think we're on pace to see some really big fireworks. But I don't want to see those fireworks. Just get the deal done behind the scenes like the NFL seemingly always does. Take care of the players, find a happy medium, and don't F this thing up. Because if you do, you're not getting it back. And good luck trying to build a new stadium when you're on strike.
I think we'll all be in agreement of who goes worst to first, possibly in the AFC. The NFC is where the argument and the debate will begin here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, guys, you can thank me later for this piece of advice. Don't forget, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So if you haven't done your Valentine's Day shopping yet, it's simple. Just go to Hy-Vee because they have everything that you need to make Valentine's Day special. It doesn't matter if you're going to cook a meal at home, if you're going to get flowers, if you're going to get a card, you're going to get chocolates, you're going to get a nice little gift. You can do it all at Hy-Vee. They have everything. And, of course, every woman loves the flowers, and Hy-Vee's floral department has the best in town. The one at 151st Street out in Olathe, beautiful floral department. They're doing bang-up jobs out there. So whether you're the type to order way in advance, which kind of too late for that right now, or that last-minute dash to the store, Hy-Vee will have the freshest and most beautiful flowers for you and a wide assortment of rose bouquets as well. You throw in some chocolates, you throw in a card, you're done, and it all happened right at Hy-Vee. So just one stop to make this Valentine's Day the sweetest one ever, only at Hy-Vee.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Northland 29 northbound, slowing at North Oak Trafficway, stays kind of sluggish up into the 169 highway interchange where you're forced to go northbound. To continue 29 northbound, you have to detour onto Inglewood Road and make a U-turn, and the service road is backed up onto the freeway. The intersection very overloaded there. Some folks are using 69 highway as an alternate. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back in on 96.5 The Fan. Bob, introduce your friends. Well, I guess
yes, we got the Carters here today. We got Mitchell, who is the greatest freshman basketball player Olathe East has ever seen, and his dad, David, are in. They made us a banana pudding cheesecake, and so we are going to tap into that a little bit later on. It's great for Valentine's Day. Now I don't have to make anything. It's fantastic. It's wonderful.
Jen gets down with the bananas?
Yeah, she'll be good. She'll be great with it. Yeah, she loves the bananas. Yeah, so we will we'll have that banana pudding cheesecake a little bit later on. I know Mac's getting really excited for it in there.
Hello, America.
It was a bad day for you to wear gray sweatpants.
Let's go.
I know that I'm hard. I was told you're
Can't
not supposed to wear those in the workplace.
And it's Valentine's Day, so you got some Ready Whip in there, Mac. You can take that home and do whatever you need to do with that. But
you have an umbrella?
I've been pounded this week.
You're going to need that umbrella.
Need to get an umbrella.
You need to get one?
Yeah, we don't have one.
I'll give you mine in the back of my car today. I have 2. I have 2.
Okay, yeah.
And a blue one and a red one.
I bought an umbrella
I got the left
recently.
side and the right side. Which one do you want to go with?
You got to have an umbrella. You got to. I went and bought one a couple of weeks ago because, it's just, I never had one. It's always a piece of junk. It was busted. This was, so I just finally went out and got an umbrella. It's never something you think of, though. You don't go, I need to go buy an umbrella today.
And so do you keep it in the car like Dusty?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, that's probably the best place to
you want to know my big umbrella guy, apparently. I have a third one at my house that I got for Christmas from my sister. It's badass, dude. It's the Wheel of Fortune wheel.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, geek.
Look, when I was a kid, I had
big time geeking over here, dude. So I'll just be on my patio, just spinning it.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I had one that was a helmet, like a Giants helmet, football helmet umbrella, and then I had a baseball cap umbrella as well.
I love that. That's
when I was a kid, yeah. So you had those things when you were a kid because you used to walk to school. But you don't need an umbrella unless you're getting out of your car, unless you're going out for a walk like you are on Saturday. But usually it's just from here to the building, and I'm like, I just leave it in the car. I'll just get a couple of drops on me. It's not going to be that big a deal. So hardly ever use an umbrella, but you got to have one in the car, especially when you become a dad and you're standing at soccer games and it's pouring rain.
Yeah, I bet that's
kind of why we got it, yeah.
You hate the umbrella for the Wheel of Fortune, don't you, Mac?
I love it.
How's your Harry Potter umbrella? Geek. It's
and
great.
I spin it outside and
absolutely, dude.
It's awesome.
100%.
No, I love it.
It's great. It has it has lose a turn, bankrupt,
we've all got to
1,000.
have at least one thing that we geek out about shamelessly, right?
Yep.
Or I guess
Survivor and Wheel of Fortune are mine.
Yeah.
At the ripe age of 38, I am fitting right into my father's plan.
I am in my Olympic era right now.
Yeah.
I'm geeking out over that. I know it's only going to be 2 weeks, but and only a week left now. So look at this guy's on skis shooting a gun. I mean, how do the Americans not own this category?
Well,
look at this guy.
Hello, America.
So
real quick before we get in this NFL thing, just really quick, just yes or no. Does the defensive concerns for Castellanos and negative war, because people have mentioned that, and apparently Gold and Cody were talking about that yesterday. Does that concern you at all?
Okay. What do you need first, a defensive guy or a bat?
We need a bat.
That's why
you need a bat.
Just wanted to ask.
You need a bat because Jack needs protection as well. Continue to take more pressure off of Jack and Carter in this lineup, right?
It's so funny to me. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh no,
I'm going to be an ass
oh,
again.
No.
You have an opportunity to get something that fixes your lineup, and the first thing you do is, his war.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dusty.
Have the luxury to piss and moan about an effing war.
Yeah,
you need a guy with a bat.
Yeah.
You could still have Isaac Collins, Caglione, Lane Thomas, and Kyle Isbell play your outfield and have Castellanos be your DH.
Yeah.
But, it's like it'd be like if I had I'd be like Costanza from Shallow Hal. Ugly as hell I am. And I finally get an 8.5 out of 10, and I'm worried about her middle toe. That's what that was. Yeah. That's exactly what that is. If you've not seen Shallow Hal, that's exactly what the Castellanos argument is. Jack Black, Jason Alexander, and he's like, dang, dude. He's like, she's a fox. He goes, did you see the toe? And you're like, really? Like, did you see his war?
Who's complaining about his war?
I don't know. Alex just brought it up as like a stat because that is one of the main stats in baseball. Yeah. But that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for a total. No. We want a outfield bat. So God forbid he play like 3 games every 2 weeks. But by all grace of everything, let his bat be in the lineup.
Yeah, you got to have that bat in the lineup. They need the protection in the lineup. Again, those young guys need it. They need it more than anything. And it was a conversation I was having with a buddy of mine yesterday about it too. He's like, God, this could help out Jack. This could help out Carter. I'm like, yeah, any veteran bat that's a legitimate veteran bat that you can put in front of Jack Caglione and continue to take the pressure off of him, you need to do that. The organization, I keep saying this, and I'll continue to say this, majorly failed Jack Caglione last year. They have a chance to rectify that by going out and getting Castellanos and taking pressure off of Jack Caglione, because I do believe the organization failed Jack Caglione. Now you have a chance to rectify that because everybody will be talking about Castellanos. Everybody will be talking about Salvi. It's the new toy, right? You bring this guy in here, you let him hit in front of Jack Caglione, the pressure just gets released from Jack like you're letting the air out of a balloon because he knows, hey, we got another bat. I don't have to carry this
Not
team.
all on me.
It's not all on me. That's what the organization needs to do. For letting him down last year, they need to go out and get Castellanos to send a message. Hey, man, we're going to protect you in the lineup, and we're going to give you every opportunity to succeed, and we know it ain't going to have to be about you this year. We got this veteran bat in the lineup that can help take the pressure off you and maybe teach you a couple of things along the way, too. You can always pick the brain of some of these veteran guys. So I look at this as a no-brainer for me. Take the war and kick it out in your ass or what? That's so stupid.
What is there like one of those things that people do in disc golf where you're just like, oh, because like in golf, like that's the whole like the argument now is like obviously the other side of it's like, well, anytime Castellanos does something good, something terrible happens, which is just a coincidence.
It's a coincidence.
But also
yes.
it's like,
it's like a bit.
seeing that like as like one of your reasons and being like funny about it is like when you're on the golf course and you're on the tee box and the ball falls off the tee and somebody in your group is an ass and goes, that's one.
Oh, God,
That's
that
a
guy
stroke.
sucks.
Like that's the same thing as like, I don't want him. Something bad will happen anytime he does something good. Okay.
Somebody said that, too. They're afraid something bad's going to happen.
I don't know.
No, that's just like they just said anytime something bad happens is only when he does something good.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard that one before.
Yeah,
No,
right.
he's the model of consistency
this is a dream scenario for the Royals, guys. It really is. Like, you could not have scripted a better opportunity for this ball club. I again talking to some people in baseball yesterday. I said, "What do you think of the Royals?" And they're like, "It's a playoff team. They may not win the World Series, but they're a playoff team. Unless something goes drastically wrong, this team should be in the playoffs." And I agree. This is a playoff team. But think of how much better a playoff team they can be when you have a veteran bat in the lineup that understands how to play the game. I mean, we're not talking about a mythical creature here and a hope and a will. We're talking about a guy that's legit that could absolutely 100% help your organization in more ways than you can announce on a radio show for 4 hours.
I will say I agree with one of the texts, though, because he says, I've seen so many veterans come here and just fail. It's probably just being gun-shy of fear of the past. That's fair.
But don't be gun-shy because there's no cost to us, right?
That's the other thing, too, that's like the main point is you're paying them league minimum. The Phillies are paying them everything else.
Yeah.
It'd be like, to me, the same situation if like the Miami Dolphins had to pay all of Tyreek Hill's contract and all we had to do is pay him the league minimum, you'd be like, oh, if that's the case, sure, come on over. Because that's the same thing, right? Like you're getting, what do you need?
You don't have a guy with a busted leg, though. You know that.
No, but you have a guy that with a busted defense, apparently, according to Poor. Yeah. And I think the thing about that is like with Tyreek, it'd be like, yeah, if they're going to pay him and we only have to pay him league minimum and we need a third wide receiver, then yeah, I'll take him. Hey, you don't have to pay this guy. He could be a bat in your lineup. You don't have to pay him. Okay, sounds great. If he fails, it costs you.
I think the league minimum is like $750 now.
Boy, wouldn't that be nice?
I mean, when
What's radio minimum?
Zero. When I started in this business in 2001 covering Major League Baseball, that was the first year I covered the Royals. The league minimum was like $200,000. Here we are 26 years later. I think the league minimum is like either $700 or $750. It's exploded from a league minimum standpoint. So these guys are making some decent money, even with the league minimum. But for a Major League Baseball team, paying $750,000 for an outfield bat. That sounds like that's too good to be true. How do we sign up for that? And I think the Royals absolutely 100% have to have Nick Castellanos on this team because it fits the biggest need that they have. And at this point in the season, you don't get gifts from God like Nick Castellanos being all of a sudden available that you don't have to give up anything for, and you can just go out and sign. Hell yes, go do that, man.
I do want to say to this because they say you can't get him as a DH because the DH spot has already been spoken for. And I will tell you that it is not. I have been told by people that follow the Royals that do not be surprised if Carter Jensen gets some outfield looks in spring training.
Yeah, they need outfielders, guys. I mean, the DH spot is not spoken for by any means.
Because I would assume that on paper right now, you'd have Isaac Collins, Kyle Isbell, Jack Caglione, Vinny Pasquantino, Michael Massey, Bobby Witt, Michael Garcia, Salvador Perez, Carter DHs, Carter catches, or vice versa. But there could be a possibility where you would have Carter Jensen see what he can do in Arizona in the outfield. Mm-hmm. And if he has to play the outfield and Castellanos is your DH and Sal catches and Vinny plays first, then that is not a locked spot. So that's the explanation. I will get to that. We get into the NFL because we do this every year. Last year, damn it, I was a year too early. But we do first to worst or worst to first. The AFC, pretty obvious, I think, who we're all going to pick. These were your last place teams in the AFC. Any of these teams you can choose to go from last to first. Your teams in the AFC were the Jets, the Browns, the Raiders, and the Titans. That's
rough.
Is that tougher to pick than the NFC side?
The NFC side is pretty easy for me.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
I didn't realize the Lions were in last place last year either, but it's still pretty easy for me with that. The AFC, I don't even know. Those are junk teams. I'd like to say the Jets just because it's something different. I think it has to be the Titans, though, right?
I think it has to be the Titans. I think I could make a...
But that's
but they have a new coach, and that's division. Right, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, you've got that Houston defensive line in that division. You've got the Jacksonville Jaguars and Liam Cohen in that division, who a lot of people are very high on after what he did this past year.
Should be, yeah.
And Tennessee's got to jump both of those teams plus another team in that division.
Yeah, and then you also look at the Raiders. They're not going to do it. The Browns and Jets. I mean, those
the Browns. I could make a Hail Mary case for.
Who's their quarterback?
Well, yeah, but the defense is fantastic.
It is, yeah.
And that division is going downhill quick, man. We don't know what Pittsburgh. We don't know what Baltimore's going to do, and then the Bengals are the Bengals, right? They could bangle it up really easily. That could be a 9-10 win division, and maybe with the best defense in football. And Shedeur Sanders is mid.
They're going to start Deshaun Watson, I think.
Not a chance.
I think
Watson, yes.
I would be shocked, but I shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be. It's the NFL. They don't care.
What's he missed?
Joe Judge was a coach.
The last 2 years he missed.
I mean, mostly he played a little bit 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, he played like 3 games.
Yeah, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was bad. And he's now missed another full year, coming off an injury.
He's torn his Achilles twice, I think.
Well, that's too bad.
Karma,
exactly. Yeah.
So we're all picking the Titans?
Yeah, probably the Titans.
I think so. I think you have to at this point. Just, but even with new coach, I don't know. But every year there's 2 teams at least, right? They go worst to first.
I'm taking the Jets.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hate that. That's who I would have picked also. I don't hate that because it's not the Browns. It's not the Raiders. I like Frank Reich. I think he's a good coach.
Bills and Patriots?
The only reason I'm taking the Jets is because there's not as much solidification in that division as there is in the other 3.
Really? Yeah. Bills and Patriots?
Well, are you a Patriot fan today as you were last week? I don't think anybody is, right?
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's
they're fine.
That's just kind of the way we all act, right? They got beaten the Super Bowl. We're like, count them out, right?
So I just have to go where everybody else isn't going because I took the Titans last year and I was off. Bad. I was like, man,
what Buffalo? I mean, new coach.
But again, like Buffalo's got drama. We'll see how they revamp their team because are they going to run back last year's team?
And they're moving too, so they got all that
win
drama.
Less than 10 games.
I don't know. I don't know what this coach is going to be like, guys. I really don't know what they're going to be from a coaching standpoint. I have no idea to gauge what Joe Brady's about.
Miami's going to tear it down.
Yep.
Yeah, Miami's.
They're going to have a new quarterback. I mean, it could be the K-State kid out there playing quarterback, Skylar Thompson.
Good. Let him play. Yeah.
And then Tyreek Hill's probably going to be gone.
Yep.
Jalen Waddle's probably going to want out. Darren Waller, who knows, right?
Who's Miami's coach now?
Oh,
it's the guy that we hadn't heard
Packers
of.
guy.
Yeah, the coordinator for the
Packers DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a name that we didn't.
Hotstetler, was that it?
No, that's a quarterback that played for Phil Sims. But no, I think that if you look at the AFC East, I don't know. New England's going to play the number one scheduled against everybody else. So are they?
It was an H.
Oh yeah,
just thinking an H.
Don't feel bad. The owner didn't know his name.
Samsonite. But no, I think that if you look at New England playing a first place schedule, that could have a factor. I'm just trying to have an educated conversation.
Yeah, of course.
Which is why I'm trying to sell the Jets.
Yeah, it's
right.
I
it's
get
like
you.
trying to sell that smoking's still okay for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to sell the Browns.
Have you ever had an old fashioned after a heavy meal and somebody gave you an American Spirit? But anyways, so you look at the Jets and what they have to go against, right? New England first place schedule. Can Buffalo still do it, or is their window closing?
I don't know what to make of Buffalo.
Josh
at this
Allen's
point.
coming off an injury.
Yeah.
So again, I'm trying to advocate like I'm big tobacco, but big Jets, right? Aaron Glenn is facing adversity, and he has 0 coordinators left, 0 assistants left. They're all fired. They're going to have a top pick in the draft. What are they going to do with it? Are they going to trade it for a quarterback? Do they bring in Kirk Cousins to like man the ship for a little bit?
I think Jacoby Brissett's the answer in New York.
Or maybe they go give Malik Willis a ton of money and they see how good he can be.
Yeah.
But that's just where I'm going with that because, I mean, the South, I mean, the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think, at least in my opinion, can give more promise this year than maybe Buffalo and New England can.
I think so, too. And then don't forget the Indianapolis Colts, too. I mean, they had a nice year last year. They were kind of ahead of the curve a little bit. I'm not putting a lot of stock into them, obviously. But I don't hate your Jets pick at all. I kind of like the Jets pick on this one. They could surprise some people because of the revamped coaching staff. Binkley's here.
Oh, yeah. He's going to crush this banana pudding cheesecake.
He's going to love it.
And I'm going to give him your number, and you're never going to talk to Bob again because you'll only talk to Jay Binkley.
Don't do that to them.
Hey, did you get those vanilla wafers at Hy-Vee or Price Chopper?
Who you going to go with in the NFC? Because for me, it's the Giants.
This is the juicy conversation, and we knew you were going to take the Giants. So it was easy for us to pick a team because the last place teams in the NFC, the Lions, the Giants, the Saints, and the Cardinals.
Those 3 teams I love right now. Those are last place teams, but Tyler Shuck played great down there in New Orleans.
You got a hell of a receiver too in Olave.
Yeah.
They got the kid from KU at running back who showed some promise.
Devin Neal.
Yeah, Devin Neal, the real deal Devin Neal. They've also got
Division
maybe Kamara
sucks.
coming back. They have a good tight end in Jahan Johnson.
Yeah,
He's
their
actually
division
a stud.
stinks. Yeah,
It sucks they didn't keep a hold of Rashid Shaheed because he would have been great was great with Olave and then the Seattle Seahawks. Like, we actually need one more puzzle piece to complete this story. The Saints and Shuck are a very good pick. I don't know if that's who I'm going with, but Mac, who do you have?
Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to take the best roster, so I'll go with the Lions, but I don't feel great about it. I got to see that they got moves to make, and it's probably the toughest division too. So I don't know. It's hard. This is a tougher sell.
And he went out and got new coordinators again, right? If I'm not mistaken, didn't they make some changes again? So hot seat Dan Quinn. I think Dan Campbell, yeah, Dan Quinn
Same
too.
guy.
Yeah, same guy. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
It's like twins with
It
Schwarzenegger
really
and
is when you
DeVito.
look at those 2 guys.
Yeah.
They both have the goatee, and so yeah, but
they
not.
got Drew Petzing and Kelvin Shepard.
So I just look at the card. Yeah, random.
That sold me.
Those are the
Lions.
coordinators for the Lions. Is that who those people are?
Yes.
Yeah, Dak Shepard and who else was it? Will Compton?
Never heard of those people before. So more new coordinators in Detroit, tougher division. I think the Giants are the one here. I think I would go with the Giants or the Saints as the worst at first because I think the NFC East is hot garbage too. The Eagles have drama. Washington has drama. Dallas, Jerry Jones looks like Yoda. I mean, so you've got all of that drama, and then the Cardinals. Forget about that. I wouldn't take the Cardinals if they're the only team in the division. They'd find a way to lose it.
So NFC team you pick, go to worst to first. 3, 2, 1.
Giants.
Lions.
Okay.
Wow, we all took a different one. I love it. That's great.
For one word.
Yeah.
One word.
First name is blank, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No.
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin. All righty. Quick one word here. I'll turn down the music. World Baseball Classic hitter ratings. Bobby Witt comes in at number 3. They ranked the top 10 in the World Baseball Classic as far as hitters were concerned. Shohei, Aaron Judge, then Bobby Witt, Juan Soto, Cal Raleigh, Vladimir Guerrero, Julio Rodriguez, Acuna, Schwarber, and then Fernando Tatis. One word on the World Baseball Classic hitter ratings.
Studs. I mean, Bobby being third is obvious. That makes him the best. Again, talking to some people in baseball yesterday, they're like, I think Judge is going to start to kind of fall down. He's well over 30 now. He's big and muscular. Sometimes that falls apart. This is the time for Bobby to make hay. And so he can go out there maybe this year, play his tail off and get the MVP this year. And if the Royals are in the postseason this year, which they should be, and anything less is unacceptable, quite frankly, Bobby should be on that national stage and should be getting those MVP votes. I love the fact that he's number 3 on this one.
I will say my one word on this is potential, because talking to Vern at the Royals rally about this, that Bobby Witt Jr. has a chance to kind of elevate his career on the world stage, because he's going to lead off, he's going to play shortstop, and there will probably be a moment where they play somebody, whether it might be Japan, whether it might be Puerto Rico, whoever it might be, and Bobby Witt Jr. is going to come up and he's going to do something. Whether that is strike out, whether that is hit a bomb, whether that is hit one in the gap, Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be on display, and that's going to catapult him. We saw what happened when Bobby Witt Jr. did one home run derby. Took the nation over, right? Look, took everybody to be like, oh, man, Bobby Witt Jr. It's now unanimous that he's the best shortstop in baseball. It's the third best baseball player in baseball and the third best hitter on the World Baseball Classic rosters.
Yeah, that's not Americans. That's all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And the top 3 baseball players are Ohtani, Judge, and Bobby.
Yeah.
And now Bobby Witt Jr. has an opportunity to face Shohei Ohtani in maybe the finals and hit a 3-run homer to win the game for Team America. God.
Bobby Witt plus 450, depending on where you look to an MVP. Aaron Judge.
MVP of the WBC or MVP of the league?
Of the AL. My fault. Yes.
450's it?
Plus 185 for Aaron Judge. Yes, it's those two, and then it's a huge jump up.
Well, who else is on that list? Obviously, Cal Raleigh.
Gunner.
Is Tarek Skubal on that list?
Should be. Skeens on the list? No, that would be National League then.
I don't see Skubal on the list.
That's fine.
Yeah, weird. Okay, one word, got KU Iowa State. 5.5-point dogs are the Jayhawks over there in Iowa State. One word on that game tomorrow.
I thought you were going to go about the spread, so that's the one word I was thinking of. But one word on that game tomorrow, huge, which means Darren Peterson probably won't play. But no, I think he is. I think Darren Peterson plays 35 to 40 minutes. I think Darren Peterson dominates. And I think Darren Peterson on Saturday puts the rest of this negative narrative that's been around him all week. Completely earned by himself. But I think he puts an end to that narrative this week. I think he dominates Lames.
It's at noon. It's a great time.
It is a great time. Yeah,
great
really good time. Right before the UMKC game. Rue up, baby.
Last time Darren Peterson played against Iowa State, it was in Lawrence. Iowa State came in as the third-ranked team in the country. KU won by 21. Darren Peterson played 27 minutes and had 16 points. Ditto would be my one word. Do that, and I'm fine. Play 27 minutes, have 16 points, let Melvin Council and Flory do their thing. Because that's what I'm saying, man. Who's stopping Flory Badunga, whatever you say?
But who's going to stop Melvin Council for going 6 of 25 too, and act like he's the new cult hero? Or like he had a great game and was 6 of 25 from the floor. Like that guy just brings it. I think this Kansas basketball team, quite honestly, is better than that Kansas basketball team that played Iowa State a couple of months ago, or I guess weeks ago now. You got the ability and understand, and your team understands you can win without Darren Peterson. You don't need him to go out there and win. This team understands that. Look out, March.
I think my parlay this week will be KU money line, Council points, Peterson points, and Flory rebounds.
Yeah, I like that. You can do Flory. I don't know if they allow it all the time with the blocks as well.
I haven't seen his blocks, but
how have the college props changed over the last couple of weeks?
Exactly.
A lot of it's just point. Yeah, true.
Tarek Skubal plus 4,000 there to win AL MVP. Let's continue our Olympic TV ratings. This is according to NBC. The Winter Games in Italy averaging 26.5 million viewers. That's through Tuesday. One word.
Huge.
Is that good?
Oh, God.
Awesome.
Huge.
It's amazing.
That's an NFL regular season number.
Yeah, no one touches that.
No one touches
that
besides the NFL. I think they're up like 93 or 96% from the last Olympic Games.
I mean, KU Iowa State will hope to get 2 million.
Hope. $1.5 million would be a huge number for that, right? This is an NFL regular season number. Like this is a game that the NFL kind of would brag about. Hey, we got 26 million people watching Chiefs Bills on week 3 at noon. This is a braggadocious number for the NFL. Yeah, you're right, Mac. Nothing gets this kind of television ratings like the NFL. And for me, the Olympics have just been so captivating. I've been locked and loaded on these things.
Yeah, timing would be my response. Because there was nothing on last night. I mean, my TV was all Olympics last night because there wasn't a college game worth a darn to watch. And there wasn't an NBA game that I wanted to watch either because I thought maybe we'd see Dallas and LA play and see Cooper Flagg. No, we saw LeBron James have a triple-double without Cooper Flagg on the floor. So
41 years old, oldest player ever.
Oldest player.
Ever triple-double.
How many players have played since they were 41 years old?
Well, that's the other thing. Oh, he's the oldest to do this. How many?
Which I don't want to sound like an ass because we gave Cooper Flagg a bunch of credit being the youngest player to have 40 and whatever. And you're like, well, how many 19-year-olds have played in the league?
Hang on a second,
More than
Dusty.
41-year-olds
No,
have played in the league.
I think you're absolutely wrong to think that because there are more younger players in this league. So when Cooper Flagg does it, I think it is impressive. When a guy who's 41 does it, it's impressive. But how many other 41-year-olds have been out there?
Which also could make that more impressive that he's actually 41 years old, that no one else has been able to hold up time that well.
Well, from that standpoint, yeah. But we've seen a lot of young guys in the NBA. Nobody's been like, I mean, I shouldn't say nobody, but Cooper Flagg's special. I mean, like, what he's doing at 19 is awesome. What LeBron is doing at 41 is awesome. But, man, you're 19 years old, and you're playing against grown men, and you've never done that before. LeBron's got 20 years of playing against grown men. He kind of figured it out, you know?
You're 48 and tore your quad doing lunges.
That's right.
He's 41 and had triple-double. You think that roast was bad? We've got Valentine's Day cards on the other side. It's the season of love. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Park and Go are ready for you. That's right. You just got to make your reservation at bookparkandgo.com, and they make the parking at KCI so convenient, so easy, and awesome. I love the folks at Park and Go because they get you to your flight on time, and they get you home from your flight on time as well. I always talk about it. From the time we pull to the gate to the time we get home, right around 119th and Quivira, it's under an hour because Park and Go is awesome. They have all covered spaces for everybody, and it's easy to make your reservation at bookparkandgo.com. Make sure you prepay when you make that reservation because you're going to save money as well. And then it's all taken care of and you're ready to go. Show up in the day of your flight and they'll direct you to that covered parking spot they reserve exclusively for you. And then you're ready to go because the van's there. They'll take you right to the airport in no time. And when you get back, hey, man, that van's waiting for you. Grab your bags, walk outside, jump on it, and boom, right back to the trunk of your car. So join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi there, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC.
If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting.
Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team.
He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days.
He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises.
Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision.
Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Downtown, 169 highway southbound, heavy across the bridge and stays pretty slow on 235 southbound past 12th Street. 670 westbound, slow rolling from 71 over to 35. Northland, 29 northbound, slows at North Oak Traffic Way with a detour to 169 highway northbound. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back at it on a glorious Friday here. Fescoe and Dusty with you on 96.5 The Fan. Mac Morey as well, kind of coming alongside with us. And we were talking about the LeBron Cooper flag thing, and I was thinking about it. Like, what is more impressive, a 19-year-old going out there and dominating or a 41-year-old going out there and dominating?
It's interesting.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's an interesting conversation. I lean LeBron, but I think he's the greatest athlete ever. So.
Yeah. You do?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I take that longevity. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
What he's still able to do. What in the world? What is happening?
You got your Cupid wings on? Look at
Hello,
that.
America.
That's right.
You do look like Anselmo.
Soaring into the season of love.
Or as our friend Ryan at Cactus calls him, Anslow.
This is an Anslow wing over here.
Yeah, it's kind of flopping there. Yeah,
it's all right.
Looks like a dead wing.
Whole lot of flopping happened on Saturday night because it's Valentine's Day. It's going to rain. Nothing thinks it's more romantic than to just have a rainstorm and a sex storm in your bedroom on Valentine's Day. If you're having trouble with that, go see our friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Mm-hmm.
3 locations, obviously, in Independence between Lee Summit and Blue Springs, Overland Park, and where else, Bob?
In North Kansas City as well. Yeah.
So, figure we get to the
64
love season. Carrington's Valentine's take was that couples should decide before they go out if they're splitting the bill 50-50.
I was talking to somebody yesterday.
Could you imagine having your girl get all dolled up with everything and then be like the meal comes?
I want to run this by you real fast because you're in the dating world and I am not.
I am not.
No, you're not. I'm sorry. Mitchell, you're in the dating world. I was talking to a friend yesterday.
Get out, Mitch.
And I'm starting to hear and understand that the trend now for a lot of people is to make the girl pay.
Okay.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. My friend's like, no. He's like, I was at a bar in Chicago watching all of this, and the check came to multiple tables, and the girls are paying for this kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, never make the girl pay.
No, I mean, it can be up for discussion. If you want to do it.
I mean, I'm old school like that. If I'm dating somebody for the first couple of times, I'm always going to pay. If she says finally, hey, let me pick this one up, that's different. But if you're just sitting there waiting for her to grab that check, man,
All right. So I have Valentine's Day cards for Bob, Mac, Cody, Alex, Carrington, Rob, Drew, Bink, and Speck. I'll let you guys decide who you want me to read first.
Binkley.
You want Binkley's first.
He's just starting off where he wants. I was going to save that for last. Let's go, but let's start there. He needs it.
Yeah, Binkley's out there. First thing he said to me, he's talking draft today.
No, he didn't say that.
I said, no, are you? Yeah.
Does Alex know that?
Yeah. Exactly. This is my Valentine's Day card. You can pump me up a little love music there, Mac, if you don't mind. He likes beer, chew, and boobs. He also likes his whiskey with 0 ice cubes. You once said about Simmons that you hate that pick. You've also stated when that woman took your pizza cutter, it made you sick. From being part of the 10-2 Ruckus crew to mock drafts and samples of Blue Chew. Roses are red, violets are blue. No one likes Neil Jones. We all love you. This one was easy to write out and think. You're an MFing legend that we all call Bink.
I love that one. Binks
Love
would
it.
be great to write. Yeah, that's really good.
That was awesome.
Do Spectre.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Going down my notes page. All right. Even if you still claim to be a fan of Duke, saying Roger Moore is the best James Bond makes me want to puke. Even if you compared Russell Wilson to our quarterback, that's not as bad as being proud to love the band Nickelback. You extended my leash and let me run wild at this place. Hell, you even put a camera in the studio to show my face. So again, I thank you for the fact I thank you for that you believed in me, or that I can't even read this. So again, I thank you for the fact you believed in me. P.S. I promise I'll never call you Steve.
That's perfect.
Do Cody.
Okay. Cody Tapp. Here he is. If you're not yelling, guys, in Bob's ear during one of our breaks, I'm sure you're creating a song that makes suburban moms shake. Some will say you take more days off than a guy at KU who wears 22. If there's one thing I know, you stay true to you. You're the best at engaging with folks in the chat. You, sir, are the guy we call Cody Tapp.
Nice.
There you go.
That's good.
All right.
Smash.
Mac, who do you want next? I've got him.
Let's get gold.
Gold. Okay. From In That's Truce. Okay, let's get here. There we go. They're longer than I thought.
No kidding.
He's got a love for smooth rides and big old cities. With a gambling problem so strong, you bet on the number of a litter of kitties. He's the best looking guy at this station, even if you hate all foods classified as crustaceans. Even though Bob says you're a Forrest Gump mold, ain't nobody got the swagger of Mr. Alex Gold.
I like that.
That was a good one. That was
Yeah.
good. All right,
Really
Drew.
good.
Okay. Drew. From Indy to KC, you produced the show called Cody and Gold. You lost a bet where you had to wear a Hooters outfit. That, my friend, was bold. You keep up with all the sports, including golf and NASCAR. You even have a ton of confidence, like going to the Masters and saying you'd shoot par. You say Joe Burrow is better than Allen, and that take may need a fixin'. I know where to go for anything about sports, and that is Drew Nixon.
Hey.
Yeah.
Let's go to the drive. How about Carrington?
You want C-Dot.
Hawk Dot. J Dot.
Yeah, C-Dot's.
Charger Dot.
C-Dot's Valentine. Let's see here. Where do we go?
Jayhawk Insider Carrington Harrison.
Yes.
You better believe it. For a man who says he loves MU, it's hard to believe as locked in as you are with KU. When it comes to Pens, they don't stand a chance. You've also created a basketball doc that is good as The Last Dance. From 2 to 6, you host a drive where bad takes are squashed, even if for 3 years you said Travis Kelce is washed. Another day, another dollar is what you holler. Right off the spot, you're the guy that we call Hawk Dot.
Yes.
You want Rob?
Yeah, Rob.
From loving soccer and possibly baloney, some may not know this about you, but the reason you're married is because of Rob Maloney. KU is this man's passion, and it seems Peyton and Eli have influenced his fashion. What kind of friend would I be if I forgot to mention our pal, our bud, we all call Rob Brent?
Nice.
That leaves
Pal and Bud.
That leaves 2. That leaves Bob and Mac. Who do you want first?
Mac.
Okay.
I don't want myself.
With a laugh that can light up a morning, our convos we've created and had are never boring. We all know you're the brains of this show, even when the sports times are slow. There's one thing I know about you, you're definitely no hack, even if you trolled me and not having my Hawks in Mac's pack. You ready?
Love it.
Putting me in the slot was a gamble, even though they made you interview and scramble. My alarm goes off at 4 with a loud ding. Man, I'm so happy you fired Kling. You created the saying BBL stinky, and now our relationship is as flexible as a slinky. You may have lost the call with 119th and null, but at the end of the day, know this. I'm your friend, and no, I'll always pick up when you call.
I love that.
There we go.
I had somebody tell me the other day.
Great job.
And this is deep on that one. Those are really good.
Very good.
Somebody told me the other day, it's not about the people who call you, it's about the people who answer you when you call. And I'm like, that's kind of a good way to look at it, you know, because how many people, my wife and I had this discussion, like, and you bring up Kling, it's funny. She goes, if I could give you $1 million and you can call somebody in your phone, but they can't answer, who are you calling?
They cannot answer?
Right. If they answer, you don't get the $1 million. If they do, if they don't answer, you do get the $1 million. I'm like, oh, immediately Kling. And that was that was the immediate answer, that I had on that. But like, seriously though, how many times does your phone ring? Do you always pick up? No, you don't always pick up. A lot of times I don't want to do that right now. I don't have time for that right now. And you send a voicemail and whatnot. So my friend said to me, she goes, yeah, it's not about the people who call you. It's about the people who answer your call. And she goes, and you always answer my call. And I'm like, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's nice. That is
so
important.
Yeah, it is. So you think about it that way. When somebody calls you, it's probably for a reason. Take the call.
I'll tell you what.
Great, Dusty.
Oh,
yeah, they were really good.
Nicely
done. Yeah,
I got those done while a woman was mouth eating, burping, and while a guy was on a Zoom call. So the talent is immaculate.
Stinky.
I'm going to get these wings off. We're going to talk a little coaching in college basketball here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for K-State Athletics.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Booth Creek Wagyu knows the only thing better than love in the air this Valentine's Day is the aroma of authentic American full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef on the grill. That's why Booth Creek has put together a world-class package of premium Wagyu steaks and buttery, succulent lobster tails ready for you to impress your sweetheart at both Booth Creek Wagyu locations at 95th and Null and 135th and Metcalf, or delivered anywhere in the country at boothcreekwagyu.com. Make sure this Valentine's Day is well done with Booth Creek Wagyu.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/4 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Thank you for a great 2025 and promise to continue giving you reason to shop at Shawnee Mission Ford in 2026. Great selection of new and used vehicles, large discount, top trade allowance, and mobile service when you need it. There's no reason to go anywhere else. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more in 26.
Hey Royals fans, it's Vern. It's February.
February. You know what time it is. Spring training meant Royals baseball is back on 96.5 The Fan. I'll be down in Arizona with the boys in blue, joining all 3 shows throughout the week. I'll have my hot stove show every Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And if you can't be there and surprise with me, I'll post videos on 96.5 The Fan's social media accounts, so you don't even need to leave the couch to watch your favorite players in action. This is your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Northland 29 northbound gets heavy around Davidson, stays pretty slow up to the 169 highway interchange, which detours you to northbound 169 to go through the intersection at Inglewood Road to turn back south. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Beyond the Pitch KC, a new podcast hosted by Scott Parks and Rob Brenton, telling the stories behind the World Cup in Kansas City. Starts Wednesday, March 4th on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, 8 o'clock hour. Valentine's cards are done. Max says I have to do one for the text line before the show is over. Yep. Text line's 913-586-7965. If you would like that text line, I guess I could put something together. Now, I got glitter all over. I have a hard time explaining to my friends where I was this morning. What's that place called? Magic City? You go for the wings.
Of course.
Or do you go for the breasts and the thighs?
Pepper wings.
Lemon pepper's a solid flavor, though.
It's good, man.
Oh, yeah. Top 3.
So happy Valentine's Day for all of you out there. I thought about just getting a heart pizza and eating it by myself in a robe.
Oh,
that'd be fun.
Just naked under the robe.
Yeah, that'd be good. We should do that.
They have them at Papa Murphy's.
That's where you
Take
get
it
them.
home.
Yeah. I don't know where else you get the heart pizza besides Papa Murphy's.
Well, I'll just call like a local pizza place. Be like, first off, do you know who I am? Second off,
get bent.
Who's this guy?
Dusty Likens, game, glad to have you. Just kidding. No, but can you guys please like make me a heart-shaped pizza? My girlfriend left me 2 days ago. Oh, absolutely.
I bet Jay would get one for you. I bet he would. Let's ask Jasper if he'd make a heart-shaped pizza.
Gotta be vodka sauce and chicken on top with a little mozzarella. And if it's milk, and you can keep it.
Yeah.
Self versus Tang. There's really no obvious of who the better coach is. But did you hear what Bill Self had to say yesterday about debunking the Darren Peterson hogwash?
Oh, yeah.
He's mad at you, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Good. I don't care.
You guys went from boys to still probably boys.
Yeah, I still love him. I mean, but that's fine. It is what it is. The evidence is there. There's no reason to not have conversation about a kid missing 11 games who's getting $3 million a year. I mean, it is what it is. And missing a game with sniffles is just
to give background, Matt Tate, who's all over the KU stuff, he said Self said he's been on X to read what's said about Darren Peterson, quote, and it's not remotely true, end quote. Was his hamstring legit? Hell yes. Was his cramping legit? Yes, positively. Did he turn his ankle bad? Yes. And that was an adrenaline kicking in. The narrative is BS.
And that's a coach, and that is a leader. Meanwhile, Jerome Tang.
Yeah, this guy.
This was embarrassing. These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. I'm embarrassed for the university. I'm embarrassed for our fans, our student section. It is just ridiculous. We got practice at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we will get this thing right. I have no answer, no words. So y'all got 2 questions. So whoever want to ask 2 questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability right now. But right now, I'm pissed.
Yeah, he's pissed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you got that guy just destroying his whole team in front of the public, and then you got Bill Self doing his thing, going, "Screw you all. Darren Peterson's great. I love him. He's my guy." You wonder why Bill Self wins and Jerome Tang doesn't. You wonder why Bill Self is one of the greats of all time and Jerome Tang isn't. It's how you handle these type of situations. And if you're another player now, Bill's got your back, man. And what he did right there in defending Darren Peterson the way that he did, that sends a message to everybody. All these kids that you're going to be recruiting now, all the agents that you have to deal with, all the parents now that you're going to have to deal with in this NIL stuff, they know right then and there, no matter what happens, Bill Self has got their back. publicly. Now I'm sure there's things behind the scenes that we don't, know about and hear about and stuff like that. And that's good. That's the way it should be. But in front of the public eye, for Bill Self to do that, that's why Bill Self is a great leader. That's why Bill Self is a great coach. And that's why Jerome Tang will be fired soon.
Somebody in the text line said, you missed the other one. Did he have a rumbly tummy? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That also tells me that he is playing on Saturday.
Of course he's playing on Saturday. Yes, he's going to play on Saturday. He's probably going to play 35 to 40 minutes, and he's probably going to dominate the game.
Great.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll give you the script right now. KU by a dozen.
Every time and then he's going to do it again, and then we're going to have this discussion again and be, Darren Peterson, we shouldn't pay him. He's a disgrace to KU. No one's going to care about this in a month and a half. I guarantee it when they are hoisting up a trophy and cutting down nets.
Right, it's exactly what it is. What's happening now and the complaining now is what's happening now, and that's legit. But as we know, as we move along, time heals all wounds for the most part, right? And so if you get to the end of the season and they're hoisting a national championship trophy, none of this is going to matter. Nobody's going to care that he didn't play in these 11 games. But when you're in the moment and he's not playing, you have to talk about what's in the moment. So many people in sports are like, well, just wait till it all plays out. Yeah, I got a 4-hour show to do every single day. I don't have time to let's see what happens when it all plays out. We have to talk about what's going on and what the situation is at the moment in time.
Saturday and Sunday.
What did I say?
Every day.
Oh, every day. Yeah, you are. Yeah. I mean, we're doing 20 hours a week. I don't have time to wait for March to see how this whole thing plays out. We feel the pulse of the fans. We are the people. And how many people were pissed off about what's going on with Darren Peterson? A lot of people were. And so I have my job. Dusty has his job. Mac has his job. It's our job to talk about it. And it's Bill Self's job to do what he did and show he's a boss. And I'm going to defend my players. And all you guys that are talking about this kid can go kick rocks. And Jerome Tang's out there going, these guys suck. I mean, the difference right there in 90 miles between those two coaches is night and day difference. They're not even in the same ballpark. Jerome Tang couldn't hold Bill Self's jock.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's literally these guys suck. It's
exactly
what he's doing.
It'd just be for clicks.
If Jerome Tang was, carrying Bill Self's jock, we put that picture up for clicks. But
I also love this text from the 620. It says everyone knows Bill is lying though. So what
if he is? He's defending his player in public.
You might think that, but you don't know that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We know that Jerome Tang's telling the truth.
Right.
He's frustrated. He doesn't like his team. His team doesn't like him. Bill Self might never talk to Darren Peterson again. Highly unlikely.
Right.
But may never talk to him again. But he sounds like him and Darren Peterson know exactly what's going on, that they're on the same page, even though there's mass chaos. To them, it looks like everything is just fine. Whether you believe him or not, he's leaving no doubt in your mind that what he's saying is what he believes.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, too, it's one voice coming from that program. A lot of places have way too many voices. A lot of programs have way too many people talking. Bill Self in 23 years, there's no controversy ever. Okay, maybe a bad guy here or there, and people get pissed about that, but that's the way of life now in college basketball. But there's been no real controversy with Bill Self. There's been no players that have ever come out and said, this guy stinks. Like, Bill Self, to me, is the ultimate coach for any sport in the history of the world because he can relate to everybody, and he's got your back. You know where you stand. And that texter's right. That could be all lies that Bill is saying, but you know what? He's defending his player, and that goes so far and sends messages to everybody that no matter how bad it is, I know this guy's got my back publicly, and he's never going to sell me out. He's not going to say I don't deserve to wear a uniform. I mean, if you wonder why Bill Self is awesome and Jerome Tang isn't, this week has told you why.
Yeah, it's just...
what's the reason? What's the Tang support angle?
That he's trying to get his team right. That's what I got from Scott.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember what Scott was saying.
He's like, I'm glad he's calling out the players. They're all like drama kids. Like, yeah, get your head out of your ass and play basketball. I don't have anything wrong with it. And I'm like, okay. And he also had the take about how he cut Darren Peterson the day that he missed the Arizona game.
Call Scott up on the phone. Let's get him on the air.
He's not awake.
Yes, he is. I'd love to talk to Scott this morning and get
his
take on
I'd
that.
love his take too, honestly.
I want to hear it coming from his mouth and his expression
on his Facebook page, and it came out of his mouth yesterday.
I mean, I gotta hear his explanation. I really do, because I don't get it. Like, I just don't understand that explanation. That's a coach going out there and destroying players.
I sent this to Mac because we had this conversation about it the other day. This was Scott Parks' Facebook status, and I'm sure he'll stand on it. If I am Bill Self, I am kicking Darren Peterson off the team today, all caps on today. Quote, and I say that as a KU grad of 94. Flu-like symptoms, my ass. He hasn't played in half of KU's games. He is the likely first pick in the draft. He has positioned himself to protect himself. Cramps in the second half of the BYU game. Okay, ... He might have been up past his bedtime. But that sounds like Grouchy Parks.
What happened to the Jerome Tang thing, though? You said
that was yesterday's conversation that came from him. This was from his Facebook status.
Yeah, okay.
And he's a KU guy. Like he said, 94 grad.
Yeah, that's great. I think all KU grads will have the same opinions. Like Darren Peterson needs to get out there and play. And, but that's how we were all raised with college sports. And college sports has changed. And I think that we need to change our expectation as fans about what college sports is going to be about and where college sports is going and where college sports is headed. And we just have to understand now, guys, these guys are not, for the most part, buying into a system. They're not program developers. They don't want to be here 4 years. It's a transactional relationship in college sports now, and that's the way we all have to treat it.
I found a cool story about Rashid Shaheed yesterday. I'm glad there's a father-son combination in the studio. You're a dad with kids. I'm sure you will experience all of this, maybe, or just the decisions of life. We'll get to it on the other side here at 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
I hope you are sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mirajoyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
DQ presents
The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Guys, Hy-Vee has us covered this Valentine's Day. No matter how you celebrate, Hy-Vee has everything we need to make Valentine's Day special. I love it because it's a one-stop shop for everything. Flower arrangements. They've got beautiful floral arrangements for everybody. You can pick them up or have them delivered. Hy-Vee also has home-cooked meal options where they'll do everything, and then you will look like the superstar in the kitchen. And so many great gift ideas as well, including chocolate and retail gift cards. Just one stop to make this the sweetest Valentine's Day ever, only at Hy-Vee.
Feeling the squeeze of high prices? Then stretch your budget this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Stock up and save big on budget-stretching deals throughout the store, like chicken drumsticks, 99 cents a pound. 5-pound bag of one-step potatoes, $1.48. Hy-Vee butter, $2.99, and Lay's potato chips, just $1.99. Order through aisles online and leave the shopping to us. Don't miss the 3-day budget stretcher sale this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Northland 29 northbound gets heavy around Davidson. Stays pretty slow up to the 169 highway interchange, which detours you to northbound 169 to go through the intersection at Inglewood Road to turn back south. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Back at it here on 96.5 The Fan. Don't forget, coming up from 10 to 2, it's not Cody and Alex. It's Alex and Bink.
There you go.
And the first thing he asked me was, you guys talking draft?
No, he didn't. No, I just can't believe
On my
he did
mother's
it.
life.
I know he probably did. That's bad by me to say.
That's the one thing I put to the test. And now he's asking Mac
Yeah.
if they so your buddy, your ride or die guy.
Yeah, my ride or die guy, Scott Parks, is on the line. I heard
Scotty
boy.
Hey, Scotty.
Remember when we dined and dashed that one time, Scott?
Beg pardon?
I said, you remember that time we dined and dashed?
Yeah, Bob, I remember. We were young and dumb. One of the greatest regrets of my life.
Yeah, it was a big regret. I followed you because you were the older guy that day. So here's the story, Scott. Jerome Tang, I heard you are a fan of. You know that's the basketball coach at K-State, not that drink you had when you were a kid growing up, right?
Right. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of what he did the other night. I thought it was a bad look, horribly embarrassing. And by fan, I mean I never went to K-State. I don't cheer for K-State, but I like him. You know, I've always thought he was an interesting person, and seemed like he had the team's best interest at heart. And the other night, he clearly did not.
Well, they said that you were saying that Jerome Tang was okay for saying that. Did you and Dana talk about that what he did was okay?
No,
Okay,
she was. I think she was a bigger fan than I am. She was like, and I think that's also because one of her children goes to K-State.
Gotcha.
But in all fairness, I did compliment him. You know, he did take them to the Elite Eight. What was it, Dusty? 3 seasons ago or 2 seasons ago?
They
whatever
beat
it was.
Kentucky in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, and but as somebody who's coached and I know there's a huge difference. Don't get me wrong, I'm not equating the two. But for someone I coached youth soccer for 20 years consecutively, and I'm not comparing coaching at the college basketball level, Division I, to coaching kids in soccer. But coaching is still coaching, regardless if you're an NFL coach or you're, the high school baseball coach. And coaching is all about instruction and motivation. And the speech I heard from Jerome Tang was horribly disappointing, saying that some of those kids didn't even belong in that school's uniform anymore, that many of them wouldn't be in that uniform next season. And that's going to motivate me this weekend, whomever they're playing, I don't know, to come out and give you 100%. Or give you 110% in practice. I know that's impossible to give 110%. Mm-hmm. But it's like firing, like it's like, Dusty, if you got fired, right?
That's coming.
But they said they were going to pay you for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your incentive to come to work?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
there is none.
Yeah, it's not there.
I mean, Jerome Tang basically told half the team the other night, you're gone when this season's over. Okay. I guess I'll just take the rest of the afternoons off and not go to practice.
Well, that's what I said yesterday too, Scott. I said, if I'm the players in this situation, there's two things that are going to happen. Either we're going to the athletic director and demanding this guy gets fired, or we're just not playing anymore this year. You have the choice.
Yeah, but Dusty and I were having this conversation in the newsroom yesterday after your show, and doesn't he have an $18 million buyout clause or something?
You'd say whatever the hell you want, no matter what Allen said, if you had an $18 million buyout. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, probably.
Of course we would.
The FCC would be losing a license. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Scott, I do want to bring this up because we brought a take-up that we had yesterday in the conversation about the World Cup. I want to ask you what your dart throw of a price would be, 10 rows up, 50-yard line, Ronaldo versus Messi.
Oh, God. What I would pay or what they would
what
go
you think it's going to go for?
10 rows up, 50-yard line, Messi against Ronaldo. $25,000 to $30,000.
That's what I told. That's what I said to Dusty. I said our seats for the Chiefs game that we have in Section 101, probably about 25 or 30 grand for a ticket to get to that game. And you nailed it. I didn't think that was hyperbolic either, because Dusty was saying it's going to be like 10 grand to get in for that game.
Well, that was Scott's take. He goes. Scott was telling me.
Your prediction.
Yeah, Scott told me, he goes, the tickets to get to the World Cup just for like pool stage in the thousands. The tickets to see Ronaldo and Messi in the tens of thousands.
Right. No, if that game happens, and I think, and if it does happen, it'll happen in Kansas City. And I think the odds are incredibly high that Portugal visits Kansas City to take on Argentina. And keep in mind, at this point, we would be in the knockout rounds. And so one of the two greatest players in soccer history is playing his last international match in Kansas City.
Now, Scott, I've only been doing radio in this slot for a little bit, but I think this is a hell of a way to tease up. You and Rob Britton are doing a podcast that talks all about that sort of stuff, are you not?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to promote it. We're doing a podcast called Beyond the Cup KC. And when the company approached us about the podcast, Rob and I are huge soccer nerds. I think most people know that about Rob, at least, on your station. Mm-hmm. But we didn't want to do – by the way, the first episode drops on March 4th, and it's a great interview, if I may say so, with Kathy Nelson, the president of the Sports Commission. Mm-hmm. And she has some really insightful stuff, behind-the-scenes stuff. And the idea was not to just break down games and, who's going to win this seed group, who's going to win Group E, who's going to win Group F. And, you can get that somewhere else. Our idea was go behind the scenes with our guests and try to figure out how it was that Kansas City, which is in all of the markets in Canada, U.S., and Mexico that got World Cup games, we are by far the smallest market and beat out some much larger markets. And so the goal was, no pun intended, sorry, that was unintentional, go behind the scenes and find the stories of how it happened. Who was moving where and when. And in the interview with Kathy Nelson, I'll just give one little tidbit away. You remember that We Want the Cup billboard downtown?
Mm-hmm.
That was right across from the Lowe's Hotel?
Yep.
That was not for us. It was strategically positioned west of the Lowe's for FIFA executives who were doing site checks. And it was before Kansas City got the cup. And Kathy Nelson tells us in this interview that she put that billboard, or they put that billboard on the west side of Lowe's and made sure that every FIFA executive had a room at the Lowe's facing west.
That's amazing.
That's fantastic.
No, that's the least of it.
Yeah. And that's coming out March 4th, and the podcast is called?
Beyond the Cup, KC.
There we go. Scott Parks, we appreciate the time, and we'll see you about 1:52 p.m. today. I kid.
No, that's Dana who will get here. No, that's early for her, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really early for her.
All right. Scott, take care, brother. We love you.
All right, love you too, guys. Be good.
Scott Parks, a legend in the city of Kansas City.
No doubt. Yeah.
That's a cool story.
Yeah, it is. That's
I'm
I
locked in
want
on
more
that
now.
podcast.
Now I want more of what they did behind the scenes to make sure that the World Cup came here to Kansas City, and the people that think about all that kind of stuff too, man. Like that's remarkable. That's why Kathy Nelson is the best too, and she gets all the credit in the world for turning this into a world-class city. I mean, obviously the Chiefs have helped with their winning and how they've been, ascending to be the world's franchise, but Kathy Nelson is behind the scenes with the city, marketing the city with the Visitors and Convention Bureau and the Sports Commission as well. She's doing two jobs. She's the most impressive person I think I know. She's unbelievable.
Mac, where did your parents go to college?
Mom went to Missouri. Dad went to the University of Texas.
You went to where?
University of Tennessee.
Did they ever tell you that you should go to Mizzou or Texas?
No.
Okay. You went to the University of Kansas?
That's right.
Your parents go to college?
Yep.
Okay, where'd they go?
They went to Monmouth College, now Monmouth University.
Did they ever want you to go there?
No.
Okay. They let you do your own
Whatever
thing.
I wanted to do.
So this story kind of relates to this because I think there's a lot of kids in today's world whose parents will say, I was a Kansas Jayhawk, you're going to be a Kansas Jayhawk, and that's kind of the way things work.
We are not doing that at all with our kids. Yeah.
Proud of you. Or there's people that say, we vote Republican or we vote Democrat. That's how you vote. That's your mindset, right? Or we went to Mizzou, you're going to go to Mizzou. So powerful story out of Seattle. The star wide receiver Rashid Shaheed had to come out and convince his parents to let him play football instead of running track. Despite Shaheed's parents both being D1 track superstars, he told them during his senior year that he wanted to play football in college, turning down a track and field offer from the University of Southern California, USC.
Mm-hmm.
Shaheed's dad would say, what are you talking about? It's not even a question. You're going to go to USC to run track. His dad realized he just didn't want to do it, eventually leading Shaheed to enroll at Weber State. Rashid has since become an all-pro and two-time Pro Bowler in the league and now has just won a Super Bowl.
The moral of that story is let your kids chase their dreams. Let them do it, man. You only have one opportunity to go around the sun, as they say. And I think that's a great move by the parents to say, all right, you don't want to do it? We're not going to force you to do something. I think a lot of times, and I know I've been guilty about this, sometimes you think as a parent, with your own interests in mind, not what's probably best for your kids some point, because it's what you did and what you think they should do. And then you talk to your kid and you realize they don't want to do that. They're not interested in that. So why would you force your kid to do something that they don't want to do and force them to go run track, even though they're going to get a scholarship for it? His heart wasn't in it. And eventually they said, okay, go chase your dreams, man. I love the parents for allowing the kid to finally go ahead and do that. Obviously, it took some convincing, but as you all know with kids, they're convincers. They try to convince you to do stuff all the time, right? Can I drive the car? You're not allowed. Please, please, please. And they wear you down. You're like, fine, whatever. But, with Rashid Shaheed, he chased his heart. He chased his dream. He did what he wanted to do. And look at him now, because he gave 100% to football. If he went on that track scholarship, well, I'd say he wouldn't give 100%, but would he give 100%? Like, if your heart's not in something, it's hard to give your best effort every single day.
And we've got a father-son combo in studio today because they made us the wonderful banana pudding cheesecake.
That's right.
And you have a son that plays basketball who's probably pretty good at basketball, I would assume, if he's in a
He's the
big
best
school
Olathe
like
East has ever seen.
Okay. All right. There you go. If he said, Dad, I don't want to play basketball anymore, you'd be like, that's fine.
I would be, yes.
It would hurt a little bit, right?
It would. From as a former basketball player myself, yes, it would hurt. But he's also really good at football, guys.
Got a Drew Lock over here.
Football is his number one love. But I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity. My wife has always coined the phrase, he makes us look like we know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't.
Right.
But he does a great job, does Mitchell, of kind of steering and guiding that ship himself. But, the best you can do is... Now, I want him to play these sports. I want him to do certain things so that he can experience all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But the decision ultimately rests down to him.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy who did 2 sports in college, and I quit the one that I loved the most. I only played 2 years, and that was basketball, because my heart wasn't in it as much, right? And it's just kind of like it fades over time.
It does, yeah.
It does. And then when you like immerse yourself into it fully for a certain amount of time, that all, like, that fatigue wears on everybody. So Find something you're good at, find something you enjoy doing, and chase it.
Well, and that's also, too, a good point that you brought up because, the specialization that people have forced their kids into, like you're going to play soccer and you're going to play soccer 365, that burns kids out. Or basketball 365 or whatever sport it is, you've got to have multiple sports. You've got to be able to do multiple things, use different muscles. And, I always go back to the Women's World Cup team, back in, I guess it was like 2019 when they won the World Cup, and all of the gals were like, yeah, I played basketball, I played volleyball, I played soccer, and that's why I'm a good soccer player today because I played all of these other sports. And there was a time, and I don't know if it's still as much today, where that's, you got to specialize. I think we've come back around and realize now specialization is stupid. It is a dumb way to go about participating in sports because, A, you're going to burn your kid out. You just are. And then you're not experiencing other things. And you maybe think you're a great baseball player and you never tried basketball or football because you were so focused on baseball. Then you tried one of those other sports. You realize, I like this sport better. I'm maybe better at this sport. And so, yeah, I think you just got to let your kids do what they want to do. They know what they want to do. And we as parents we have to be there for guidance, obviously, but we can't dictate what they're going to do because I love playing football doesn't mean my kid's going to love playing football. That's the way it works. And it's hard to accept that at times as a parent, too. Especially for them, I would imagine being D1 track stars and you got your kid that could be a D1 track star and he doesn't want to do that. Man, that's got to be heartbreaking for the parents.
Yeah, I think it's also like you look at what his position is in football, and this track star is still there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like he incorporated that into football, right? Like, we always heard the story of Tyreek Hill when he's in Kansas City, how he was able to track the ball down so well. And we go back to the story when he was a young kid, his family members would just throw Frisbees out in the yard, and he would just go run and, like, track it down. And he implicated that into football.
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed, no secret, return specialist, Pro Bowler, fast receiver. That's the track speed in the football game.
Yep.
And luckily for him, he's fast enough to where the big hits don't happen. Now, again, it will eventually, or it probably already has, where the parents are like, this is why we don't want you to play football. But again, like, you're trusting your son's speed to be there. And that's the track star in him. Because I go back again to Madden Mitchell. They used to do this back in the day where you could draft, if you did like a franchise, they'd have like the rookie class. And you could look and see what their parents did and then gauge what they would be in like the draft for that next season in Madden.
That's cool.
And it'd be like, dad was a weightlifter, mom was a track star, seeing the kid's going to be strong and fast. Or, dad played baseball, mom ran track. Okay, the kid's going to have an arm and he's probably going to have speed. So you would look into that. Where, okay, I'm going to get a mobile quarterback out of it. Then you draft him and then all the attributes would come up after the draft where it'd be like, okay, so he's got 87 speed and he's a quarterback. That's sick. Okay, but now I've got to build him up to be a pro player, but you're going off what their parents were compared to what the player could be. It was a cool aspect they used to do.
I wonder how many professional athletes, and I'm sure I could find this on Gemini or one of the AI sites out there, but how many professional athletes are products of both parents being athletes?
The quarterback in Kansas City is a pure example of that.
Yeah.
His dad was a pitcher in the Major League Baseball, so he's got the arm.
Right.
I believe his mom was some sort of an athlete.
I think she was an athlete as well, yeah.
And you look at, that's why the Mahomes kids are probably going to be built successfully. Brittany is a
super
athlete in soccer.
Right.
And then you look at Mahomes, who could do baseball and basketball, and that genetic passes down.
Yeah.
Chances are his son could probably be or will be an athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what we're watching in baseball.
And his daughters. Yeah.
That too. And you look at what we're watching in baseball, like Jack Wilson, second baseman for years when it came to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Right.
I found out this year that Jacob Wilson is his son.
Yeah.
And you're like, duh, makes sense.
Yeah.
Prince Fielder, Cecil Fielder, right? It moves down the chain as well. So you look at Bobby Witt Jr. His dad was a mediocre relief pitcher, starter pitcher for the Texas Rangers.
Pitcher,
Decent. You look at how good his son is, right?
Usually
now,
the kid's better than the parents, except for Bronny.
Normally the parents don't come up through the system like their kids will, because obviously we hear Mahomes, like when he was a young kid, what got him out of the superstar, like, oh my God, where is he was in the locker room with Derek Jeter and all that stuff. So that's like lucky, right?
Of
like
course,
not every kid's going to be like Mitchell's not going to be able to go hang out with, Bobby Witt Jr. or Patrick Mahomes that we know of, but like Patrick Mahomes was able to pick the brain of a Derek Jeter at a young age and Alex Rodriguez at a young age, all these guys that were around his dad. So yes, I mean, I do think that there are ways to like have your kid's greatest attribute go to maybe his second tier sport and still be that successful person.
Yeah, but I think it'd be really interesting to see how many of these pro athletes and even the Olympic athletes, how many of them came from multi-parent athlete households.
Well, they were just talking about.
Hey, Mac, turn on his mic.
He's got it. He's good.
Okay.
He's good.
They were just talking about that in figure skating. Most of the U.S. figure skating team, their parents were former Olympians themselves.
Wow. Yeah.
And for a handful of those skaters, both parents were Olympians.
Okay.
So it's not an uncommon phenomenon.
Yeah.
And I can't speak loudly enough to the point that you just made, Dusty, about Mahomes being around that. Like, I've been fortunate. My family was really good at sports. I had a brother who was really good at sports. So being around in that environment, I think, is a big attribute, like mentally. Like, I think that's a huge factor.
Yeah, not letting the game get too big for you. And Mahomes is one of those guys. The game's never been big for Patrick Mahomes. He's always been bigger than the game, and that's because that's the way he was raised, you know?
And you look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah.
Now the text says he's better than his dad. I don't know if that's true
Dad's
yet.
Hall of Famer right now. Yeah, it's going to be tough, though.
But
It's
he's
going to be
tracking.
close. Yeah, he is. Oh,
He's
yeah.
a better complete player than his dad was. But his dad also had a cannon and played in the outfield, whereas Vlad Guerrero Jr. plays first base but has an absolute stick that's probably better than his dad and more disciplined at the plate than his dad.
Well, his dad would hit balls off the ground out of the
No doubt
ballpark.
about
I mean,
it.
he swung at everything. It didn't matter where it was. Vlad Sr. was swinging at it, and boy, he was a great baseball player. I loved him.
Somebody says we need Shohei Ohtani have a baby with one of the WNBA stars.
There we go.
There's the future.
I mean, Bam Adebayo and Asia Wilson, they're getting together. They're going to have a kid. It's going to be incredible.
Dusty
probably.
Like and Sophie Cunningham.
There you go.
Going to be good looking and somewhat talented. Somebody had asked where the practice facilities or the base camps were. They are Sporting KC's Performance Center, Swope Park Soccer Village, the KC Currents Training Center, and Rock Chalk Park at the University of Kansas. We have asked, we don't know the full answer yet because we asked Rob and Scott, the hosts of that podcast, if the practices will be able to be watched. Both answers were the same. We think so, but we don't know officially yet because Argentina, no secret who their superstar is in Leo Messi. And then you also look at Harry Kane, who is the Golden Boot of the last World Cup, I believe. And he's a superstar in England. So, yes, the names keep coming in. Sertan, Griffey, Harrison, et cetera. Yes, they're all there.
Yeah, there's so many athletes that, but are they two-parent athlete stars? It's easy to say, oh, yeah, I remember his dad playing, but was mom an athlete as well? Did she, play in college? And did she run track or play basketball or volleyball or, wherever it is? Because a lot of times, yeah, one parent was an athlete, but, man, two parents being an athlete. I bet it's probably... I don't know. I'm going to say about maybe 35% of total I'm just guessing total professional athletes have both parents that
I can believe that.
And I will wrap this conversation up before we get into a Chiefs conversation or we have to go to break. If you have not seen the movie King Richard, which is about Serena and Venus Williams' dad, who's played by Will Smith, to me it is one of Will Smith's top 3 performances. There's a scene in the movie where Venus is at Wimbledon. I'm getting chills because of the quote he says at the end of the movie. And Venus is at Wimbledon. And at the very end of the movie, he talks to Serena and he says, just wait until you come up.
I just got goosebumps.
And we all know that
yeah.
Serena's better than Venus,
Hell
but
yeah.
Venus was a superstar. And we all know that Serena was better. And somebody on the text line says, you also have to think of your younger siblings. I walked so my younger brother could run.
I mean, that's the way it was in my household, right? My sister and I are 5 years apart. And
but there's no doubt that she's the better athlete.
No question. And that's what I was going to get to because she was always with us wanting to, like, we would always play football or baseball. It was the boys, and she would always want to be with me because I was her big brother, right? So she would always participate. Her goal was to always be better than me. Can I beat my brother? Now, she crushes me in sports because she's an athlete. I am not. She's a Division I swimmer. I am not. She could have made the Olympics. I could not. So she used that, the little sibling, as motivation to try to get better. And I always remember her always by my side when we were playing sports and what. She wanted to be right in there, and she did. She became a much better athlete than I could have ever dreamed about, and neither of our parents were athletes.
We'll get into some more Chiefs talk on the other side as we cut to a break here on 96.5 The Fan because some people don't think that the Chiefs are a dynasty, and the number 1 seed tells you everything about last year to this year and to the year before as well. On 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
This is Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Hi,
I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Football season is officially over, but the offseason is just beginning, and 96.5 The Fan will be there every step of the way. We'll have people at the Combine in Indianapolis. We'll be at Arrowhead during free agency. And yes, we'll be live in Pittsburgh for the NFL Draft in April. One of the biggest off-seasons in recent history is underway, and there's only one station you need to listen to, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Traffic for DM Entry Law, North KC 29 southbound. Pick up some slowdowns past Armour. Stays off again, on again, slowed down to Levy with a stalled off to the left shoulder. 71 northbound, heavy into downtown from 22nd Street. Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law. How about three great reasons? One, it's easy. Two, it's fast. Three, the results. Mike's got this. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Stat correction once a day on your bingo card for Dusty Likens. Harry Kane, 2016-2017 Golden Boot. That was his second Golden Boot. So maybe that was for UEFA. Who knows what I'm talking about? Let Scott Parks and Rob Brenton talk about soccer.
Exactly. Let them talk soccer. We'll talk banana pudding cheesecake. We got Mitchell and his dad David in here today. They made us
Mitch and David.
They made us a banana pudding cheesecake. When are we going to eat this thing?
You're the man of the show.
Whenever you guys want, break it out. Here comes Mac.
Yeah, exactly. All right, sweet.
We'll do it at 9:40.
All right, right before we'll do it live. We'll eat that banana pudding cheesecake.
What do you mean to play us out? Sting and the Police will play us out. F it, we'll do it live. Bill O'Reilly, never change. Is he still alive? Okay, he is still alive. Good to know. So last year tells everything about the Chiefs to you?
I think so. As we go into the offseason, we're trying to figure out what the problem is, right? And I've been saying for the better part of this offseason, it's more about the discipline. It's more about the little things than it is about necessarily the big picture. I mean, you start to look at the stats and everything that are taking place with this Chiefs offense. They're top 5 or 10 offense in every category last year, just about. And where they weren't good was obviously in turnovers and penalties and those little things. And so the more that I've looked at this offseason, the more I realized maybe it is not as much as a talent issue. It was just we just kind of let the season get away. We got lazy issue, right? You know, sometimes you get comfortable in your job. Sometimes you get comfortable in life, and you just kind of let things slack off a little bit. And you're like, it'll take care of itself, or we've been having success, and you just kind of slack off a little bit. We've all gotten to that point in life. And the reason I say that is because I saw a graphic yesterday who said if we reversed all the one-score games, let's seed the playoffs in the NFL, and the Chiefs were by far the number one seed in the AFC. And when I look at that and I see that one-score games are what really kept you out of the postseason, well, then I look back at one-score games and go, why did one-score games happen? And teams that necessarily, or not, I shouldn't say necessarily, but teams that usually lose a lot of one-score games are just undisciplined teams. There are a lot of times they're young teams that just don't know how to win yet in the NFL. Chiefs weren't a young team. They know how to win in the NFL. It was the undisciplined factor to me that ultimately got to them. And in years past, you know, and maybe, Mac, back to your point of this has been a couple of years in the making, maybe Andy Reid should have been more disciplined the last 3 or 4 years in holding guys accountable, because when you made mistakes in the past, well, Patrick Mahomes just erased them. This defense just erased them. Mistakes didn't matter. And you got to a point now where you got Patrick Mahomes on this side of 30, the weapons are this side of 30, and you don't have the ability, if you will, to make mistakes and cover them up anymore, where in the past you did. And so if you want to say like years in the making of Andy Reid not making sure guys were accountable with penalties and turnovers in the past, and that led to this because now you weren't able to overcome them, I can get with that. I can absolutely 100% get with that.
Yeah.
Like maybe the discipline should have been there all along because you finally got to a point in your life or where we are right now where talent could no longer carry you and you had to do the little things the right way. And for a team for a decade, guys, that never had to do the little things the right way because Patrick Mahomes is going to make a play, well, those days hit them right in the face. And they realize Patrick Mahomes can't do this anymore all by himself. He can't erase all these mistakes. And now mistakes are magnified. And that's where the offseason, to me, has to come in. We have to minimize all of those mistakes because those are things you can fix without making a roster move. Those are things you can change in the offseason without making a roster move. It's those little things. And if they do those little things right, well, then you're not forced to have to come back and make plays late, which turn into turnovers or whatever the case may be.
Because last year, Binkley described how they were running the offense.
There's a lot of people talking out of their butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that they know that it was Mahomes doing it a lot himself because they have attributed money to guys who weren't attributing to the actual success. I mean, last year, 15-2, I guess now 2 seasons ago, 15-2. And they're going, okay, but we watched that season. We watched those games. Those weren't pretty games. That wasn't a disciplined team. That was guys pulling games out of their butt regularly and missed kicks and blocked field goals and Aiden O'Connell, false starting and fumbling the snap at the end of the game when they should have lost to the Raiders at home at the end of the year. Like there's so many moments where they could have said, okay, this team's actually winning games, but the end result is not justifying what we're actually putting on the field. And instead, they're like, all right, let's run it back. Hey, Nick Bolton, hey, you were a huge attribution to this success. No, he wasn't. Hey, George Karlaftis, you're going to get better. He didn't. And instead, they've dug their hole deeper because they didn't change quickly enough.
Well, and I think
they can get out of it. I'm not saying they're screwed. I mean,
yeah, right. But I think they really could change, and they could have changed last offseason by looking at how we won all these games and saying, all right, we need to tighten the screws because
it's
special
starting
teams
to come undone.
Yeah, special teams got bad this year. I mean, and that was a big thing too. To me, that lends itself also to coaching. Figure this out. Figure out how to do better, on special teams and getting the message across about not kicking the ball out of bounds. Like Butker kicking the ball out of bounds twice this year, that's coaching. That is 100% coaching to me. Here's what we're going to do. You're not kicking it in the corner. Boot it out of the end zone. No, let's kick it out of bounds and give the ball at the 45-yard line now or whatever it is, right? Like, that's coaching. You got to make sure your guys know when you go out there what the situation is. Hey, Harrison, here's what we're going to need you to do. Kick it into the landing zone straight down the field because we got a minute 37 on that clock, and if you kick it out of bounds, they only got to go 60 yards. And in the NFL, that's 2 plays and a touchdown, and it's done. And that's exactly what happened. And so those are the little things that these coaches need to do better at, reminding these guys. And some people say, they're an adult, they should know. Now, you're caught up in a game. That's where the coach comes into play. Hey, real quick, just make sure don't kick it out of bounds here. I'm going to, you crush you or whatever,
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't ever do it again, darn, like one of those type of things.
You're also a $7.4 million cap hit as a kicker. So you better be damn good at what you're doing.
Exactly. And so, I thought the special teams were really disjointed. And again, I think they were disjointed because of discipline. I think people just did. They got fat and happy, and it's okay. That's what happens when you're experiencing that winning. But they should have, if anything, tightened the screws from a discipline standpoint, because you are right about that, Mac. They were winning games in strange ways, and we just all looked at it. It was fun. It was great. But inside those rooms behind, this is why you need no men on your staff. No matter who you are, you need a no man, okay? You don't need a bunch of yes men following you around and go, oh, that's okay, that's great. That's a wonderful plan. Oh, okay, that sounds great. Oh, Crown said, okay, sounds good. Here's what we're going to do. You need no men.
Carrington and Rob?
Yeah. You need at least one no guy who has the stones to challenge you on everything you do. And as the head coach, you need to have that guy know that guy's going to stay employed because he is serving a purpose. And so you need to have that guy that's going to say, whoa, great, we won the Super Bowl. But, man, we were lucky to win these games. What did we do this year that was different? Oh, we had some penalties. We got to tighten the screws here, guys. We were lucky to be here last year. We've got to tighten the screws going into the next season. And instead of tightening the screws, they unwound them even more. And that's why we're here. Because to me, it ultimately wasn't the talent. It was the fact that the talent really didn't have direction last year. And it was kind of a situation where they weren't held accountable. When you're not held accountable, things get out of control. Then it gets out of control and you're 6-11.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. I think some of it was the talent, but I agree with you. More not 80% coaching.
Yeah.
85% coaching, honestly.
Yeah. 90.
Yeah, I mean, the talent on the defensive end is subpar. I mean,
the defensive line out of the equation.
Yes, I agree.
If it wasn't coaching, who are the main people that are not on this roster this year that were on it last year? It's all coaches so far. Like it's your
but that's all you can do at this point in time.
Correct. But I mean, there's not conversation really coming out of Chiefs camp of like, yeah, they're going to move on. Like it's all of us speculating. But like there was definitely a conversation before the season ended of who is leaving and who is not going to be a part of this team in the future. And it was Connor Embry and it was Todd Pinkston immediately.
It was, absolutely, because you had to figure that out.
Because it was stale and it was stagnant and it was bad.
Well, they were also unqualified to be doing those jobs, guys.
Correct.
I mean,
but it is also hard when you see your winning percentage over the last decade. And you're Andy Reid staring at that number.
Right. And that's partly our fault as fans as well. We didn't care. We didn't care. They were winning games, we don't care who the coaches are.
Might not have cared, but might have been some concern.
For sure. Yeah, big concern. This is why I call it, this is a teaching lesson for us as fans and for the Kansas City Chiefs and everyone in sports. I mean, there's two dynasties in that I can think of that really modeled this, right? Like the San Antonio Spurs kept on changing even though they kept winning. That's why they were dominant for 20. And then the New England Patriots, right? Like they go undefeated. I mean, we were talking about in the bullpen, Dusty. They go undefeated in that 07 season. Mm-hmm. They changed their team after that, right? And Randy Moss is gone. They're going to change their team. Defensive guys aren't getting re-signed. You're like, wow, we're not re-signing this guy?
And the Chiefs were good at that.
For a little bit.
Yeah,
they were.
We're getting rid of guys, and people were complaining, I can't believe they're getting rid of that guy. I'm like, no, it's a good thing. You want to bounce on these guys early. And I mean, grand scheme, big picture, there are two major issues that effed up this entire organization to go 6-11. And what I mean by that is the Trent Williams situation, they had him thought he was done. It was a done deal. He was going to come to Kansas City, and the last second decided my heart, again, no pun intended, is still out in San Francisco. I want to stay there. You can't blame the guy for that, right? You just can't blame the guy for that. So that was
You've also got to pay him the money he wants.
Yeah, but they were pretty much on par with the money. It was pretty much on par with the money. And San Francisco came in at the end and said, "We still want you." And he's like, "All right, all things being equal, I want to stay where I am." I can't blame him for that. And then the Chris Jones situation, because that screwed up absolutely everything. You know, from how much they had to pay Chris Jones to not being able to get a deal done with potentially Trent McDuffie early or, Rashee Rice early, which they wanted to do because those were going to be the next steps. And so, again, a great plan on paper, but then the plan deviated and changed. And those two moves alone have had a major trickle-down effect on what this team can do. And hindsight being 2020, they probably shouldn't have paid Chris Jones. That would have been the move. That you talk about New England and letting guys go early. I looked at Chris Jones' stats yesterday. The last 2 years. BBL stinky.
Did you look at the pressure rates?
Brother, I was looking at passes defended. I looked at passes defended. He had 2 passes knocked down last year. 0 the year before. And he was averaging about 5 or 6 per year prior to that.
Used to be his thing, yeah.
Big lost start for Chris Jones in that situation. But if you want to make these drastic moves and you don't want to be in this situation, then you have to be okay with moving on from players you like. And in the moment, it sucks. But moving on from Chris Jones from a financial standpoint and where they are now and what he's contributed probably would have been the best move, the smart move, the genius move. But we all would have been like, I can't believe you're getting rid of Chris Jones. And so those are the things these organizations run into. Yeah, the right move is to move on, but man, he's a fan favorite. We got to take care of our fans. Whereas Belichick is, 24-year-old girlfriend.
So the New England way, and I think the way that you can compare this, even though they play different positions, is New England moved on from Richard Seymour in 2008.
Yes.
And Richard Seymour that season had 8 sacks and 51 tackles, 34 of which were solo.
54
51 tackles.
You know how many Chris Jones
combined.
had last year?
He had 51 tackles combined. Now, again, he played right defensive edge, and Jones plays, I guess, hybrid, you could say. Like, he plays middle in, middle away, but he's a D-tackle. He had 8 sacks. That was his second best career. New England moved on from him. The most sacks he'd have again the rest of his career was 6. The most tackles he'd have again the rest of his year was 48 combined. And yes, that is one example of it working to get rid of it before it goes stale. But I think if we all went back, even when I was doing the Red Reaction show and you and Kling were doing Fescoe in the morning and Mac was in Tennessee being a Chiefs fan diehard, we were all going, dude, we got to sign Chris. We got to sign Chris. We got to sign Chris.
I know.
And then it happened on like a Friday night bomb. It was like 9 o'clock at night on Friday or something like that. and everybody was ecstatic, and you lose the image. And it's kind of like, to me, the comparison is looking at the winning percentage of being almost 72% over the last decade, being like, damn, dude, we keep winning. We're doing this thing. It's like, then you look at it and you're like, but in the last couple of years, the offense has been bad, but they're winning. And then you look at Chris Jones, you're like, well, we got to resign this guy because he's one of the best defensive tackles in the league, not named Aaron Donald. He's number 2. If Aaron Donald's 1A, he's 1B. We can't get rid of this guy. And then you realize now that the contract and the production may not be adding up to your expectations. And now all of a sudden, of course, hindsight kicks in, and you're like, terrible signing. Should have got rid of him earlier. And yes, New England did that many times. But again, like, the narrative is still true. When you have a superstar, you can't get stale. You've still got to go out there as if he's not part of your team. You mentioned the Spurs with Duncan and Robinson. Robinson didn't play with Duncan his whole career.
No, he did
but
not.
You know what they did? They went and drafted Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, they got Tony Parker
And Tony
Manu
Parker.
Ginobili. Yeah,
And they built around that,
Oh, yeah.
even though they're not, but they still focused around the big fundamental. You look at the Patriots. They had Tom Brady. Tom Brady knew what he was. He knew what the team was. They knew what they were going to do. But they went and got him Wes Welker. They went and got him Julian Edelman. They went and got him Randy Moss.
But all those guys that you mentioned, like Wes Welker and Julian Edelman, those were like nondescript players that they went out and they
And that's
did.
part of why you have Chad O'Shea here. So because Xavier Worthy was drafted in the first round with 4.2 speed. Okay, how is that not working out? Well, now we've got to coach that up and trust our coaching staff. Now, again, New England's coaching staff obviously didn't do well outside the Bill Belichick tree. But again, you look at what they did. They put their star player with guys that worked with him. Maybe Xavier Worthy doesn't work with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever been in school where you have a teacher, you get a test, and you get the test. You're like, we never went over any of this. I don't know how to do anything on this test, right? I hear about it all day. We didn't learn this yet, right, Mitchell? You do that every day. And so you get the test, and you're like, I don't remember any of this. I don't remember going over any of this. I think that's kind of what those wide receivers were this year. They were going out, and they were playing in a game where they just weren't prepared because the guy who was in charge of getting them ready just didn't know how to get them ready to go out there and play in an NFL game or wherever it is. And for years, it didn't matter because Patrick Mahomes just figured it out. They just made everybody look better. They you know, the way that they won games was magical and all this kind of stuff. And it was the Mahomes magic, and you didn't care about anything else. But when the Mahomes magic has started to dissipate a little bit, and you start to realize the little things truly do matter because these guys aren't at the top of their game anymore where they can just take the little things and throw them out the window and just go out there and kick your ass on the field. So the little things have become more important. And that's going to be up to the players to understand that as well. These guys that are used to just finding ways to win, they're going to have to embrace doing the little things now because they're older, and it's harder when you're older to be a superstar athlete.
Richard Seymour was also 29 years old the year that he had that number, and the New England Patriots moved on. Chris
Right.
Jones last year, if you want to know his total tackles, it was 29.
Oh, I got 27 at NFL.com. Either way, it's
29 combo, 15 solo. He had 7 sacks.
Yep. That's funny how NFL.com has him as 27 total tackles. That's great. Who's looking at the numbers? But either way, it's like you could expect more. And the other thing about New England that I'll say, and again, we're not there, so I don't know, but how many times did you hear their fan base and see their fan base complaining about players they let go after the fact once that next season started? Oh, man, we wish we would have had this guy. Never, because they continued to win, they continued to reinvent, and they continued to stay young and fresh and, you know, bring in new players. So
don't forget our spring training coverage on 96.5. The Fan is brought to you by Park and Go, the best deal on Airport Park. If you missed it last night, All Things Vern podcast, he had the hot stove on last night. He had Matt Strom on last night, the card collector whose belt, by the way, I don't know if you saw this when he was in Philadelphia, he had a belt made out of all his cards.
That's cool. I love that. Yeah.
He's got a red to 5 Bobby Witt Jr. card that he's holding on to for the right moment to see when the negotiations start between he and Bob WJ.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Coming up next, there could be a new player added to the Royals for a very cheap price. Text line seems not to like it. We all three, I think, do. 96.5 The Fan, you're home for the Kansas City Royals.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Every Hardee's is closed.
Well, that sucks.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, Mom. It's me. Oh, my gosh. You'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Helzberg. Just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Helzberg. Shop in store or at helzberg.com.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Heading into downtown, 71 northbound, pretty heavy. You hit delays at the Paseo, and it stays very slow up all the way into the downtown loop. 29 southbound, sluggish from 16th Avenue to the Bond Bridge, but stalled on the left shoulder. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Hey, Royals fans, it's Vern, and the Hot Stove Show is back Thursday night starting at 6 o'clock right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Rocking and rolling on a Friday here on 96.5 The Fan. Coming up from 10 to 2, it's Alex Gold and Jay Binkley with Drew Nixon. We'll do it again, over under 10:45. Jay Binkley asked for a Blue Chew sample.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say 10:45 for when Jay wanted to talk draft.
That'll be at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Because you had said to us, or he had said to us, you guys talking draft, and you said no, and he goes, well, I am. And then I asked you, does Alex know this?
I mean, I'm sure Alex's text thread last night with just one Jay Binkley was full of like different mocks.
Did you see the NFL season is now going to start on a Wednesday?
I saw that last night. They want to have the Australian game on Wednesday, right? And then either that's going to be the opening night game or they're going to have it Thursday either way. So we're going to have a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Yeah.
We're
going to get a Friday game,
Why
too.
wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's probably the Brazil game would be Friday
when the
as
Chiefs
well.
play was in Sao Paulo,
Yeah, that's right.
right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So you're going to get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
I would assume, though, that you're opening on...
Sorry about your first fantasy show, Mac. You're going to have like 9 teams talking.
Nothing's going to matter. But I would assume, like, if you're going to start the NFL season in Australia, you wouldn't have the same Friday game that we did the last couple of years in Brazil. Maybe you move that one, but again, that was a long travel for a lot of people, so maybe you're right about that.
Have that be at a stadium, or have that be a neutral site in the United States. Well, that would be fun.
Yeah, no.
Have that be at a stadium that doesn't get NFL games.
Yeah, but that doesn't grow the game internationally where the money is. You know, that's the way these guys are thinking. You know,
I know the way they're thinking.
I was always anti the international game. You know, when I was when it first came up, like in 2013, 2014, because I was like, wait a second here, we're taking money away from these beer vendors that are working these games. We're eliminating a game for all of them. But now it's to the point where everybody is playing one of those international games. I always thought it would be cool to play these games at college stadiums, and you know, you could play like, the Cowboys and Chiefs at Oklahoma in Norman. Like, that would be cool. Or you could play the Chiefs and Vikings in Lames or in Iowa City. Or, you could play, back in the day, Chicago and St. Louis. You could have played at, the University of Illinois. Or, Giants and Jets could battle each other at a college and, on the East Coast. Or I always thought that would be kind of cool. But the money that these guys are generating from these internet, they're going to sell a separate TV package and all this kind of stuff. So,
could you imagine the Ravens in Cincinnati playing the Horseshoe?
Oh my God, how cool would that be?
Lamar
right?
Burrow. Burrow once played there, but then went to LSU, and now he goes back and plays with Cincinnati against Baltimore.
What if it was Cincinnati and Cleveland playing in Columbus?
Not the sell.
Yeah, no, but those are the two Ohio teams. That's right in the middle. That's kind of fun. Or Philly and Pittsburgh at Penn State.
Because I don't watch a lot of hockey. It's no secret. But when they do the Winter Classics at the Bronx when they're playing at Yankee Stadium, that's awesome. They played at Wrigley Field. That's great. To give reference, Yahoo Sports announced this yesterday. The NFL will have a Wednesday game to open 2026, and it'll be the Niners and Rams in Australia being played. That'll either be on Wednesday or Thursday as part of opening weekend. Whichever day the game does not take place, the Seahawks opener will be on.
So we may not have the Super Bowl winner open the season. This is just ridiculous.
This is what I've been saying.
Well, they didn't open the season last year, though, either. The Chiefs opened the season last year. They weren't the Super. Oh, I guess they were the Super Bowl winner that year.
Yeah, Thursday night was Philadelphia.
Dallas,
and Friday was Chiefs Chargers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. You're right.
Every year.
Yeah.
And so
they're just going to say, no, get Ben.
So what are you going to do? Have a Wednesday opener in Seattle
or in Australia?
Yeah. I could see the Wednesday opener in Australia just for travel, purposes.
So dumb. They're going to lose. They're going to lose their main.
What did I tell you last year? I am the biggest fearmonger of this sport losing its ripeness.
Do you remember the Midas touch, that old Greek fable, the Midas touch, where everything you touch turned to gold, right? Well, the NFL has got that Midas touch right now, but eventually they're going to have to take a dump and wipe their butt, and then their butt's going to turn to gold, and then they're stuck. BBL,
what's going to happen with the NFL is what's happening to the WWE. Because now there is concern of low selling tickets for WrestleMania. Because you know what WrestleMania does now? They go to different countries. They go to different places, and people are backing out. And the problem with that is that they're still charging the same price for tickets, even though ticket demands are down. And it's WrestleMania, right? It's the biggest event of their sport. And now they're still doing shows in the United States, but they are taking it elsewhere. And WrestleMania and WWE is stale. Nobody likes it. There's not a superstar that everybody gets behind. You could say Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes or whoever you may be. John Cena just retired. But again, eventually these names in football may not carry the weight of the guys behind them. Do you believe in the mindset that you have currently in today's world that Drake May and Caleb Williams and all these guys that are the young and up-and-comers can carry the same torch that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, all these guys carried?
No.
Now, I can say that, and I can also give you the example of Saturday Night Live where they thought it may not get better than Dan Aykroyd and those guys, and it did. We just didn't give it a chance. But again, the NFL doesn't need to give you a chance. The NFL sells perfectly the way that it is, and the fact that you're going to, kill yourself from the inside is a huge problem to me. And by doing these sort of things where it's now there's a game on Wednesday, now there's a game on Thursday, you're going to lose a lot of interest in people with fantasy football because it's going to turn into baseball fantasy football where every day you've got to make lineup changes where now it's now they're playing on Wednesday. They're not going to play this guy because he just got a concussion. He's already out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wouldn't even play Sunday. But now this guy who has a knee bruise definitely isn't going to play a Wednesday. And people in fantasy football, they're taking something as simplistic as it used to be from plug a guy in and play and get points for touchdowns and yards to, it was a little bit more creative to go to half-point PPR, full-point PPR. It still kept people interested because the scores were bigger and it was more fun. But now when you put games in on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Friday, people are going to be like, I can't keep up. I'm out. And you're going to lose that part of the game. Now, not everybody plays fantasy football. I get that. But Mac does a fantasy football show on Sunday. It's a great product. But when he does that on Sunday, he's going to be like, I've got an hour to fill for 6 games.
Yeah, there's 6 games.
And you can't do a fantasy football show on a Monday because you don't know what the roster is going to be.
Yeah, you
can't. And if you do it on
yeah.
Tuesday, the waiver wire is not open. So all these things can be a inside murder of yourself.
And it's a really good point to bring up. But I always thought in my lifetime, the way that the NFL
You ever try to play fantasy baseball?
One time, and it's every day.
That's everybody's story.
You don't want to do that. You just don't want to do that.
Well.
Yeah. So fantasy football was great because you'd set your lineup on Sunday morning and be done with it. But I always thought the NFL would crumble for one of two reasons, if it ever did. Number one, when they go away from CBS, Fox, and NBC. And I was reading about the rights yesterday for the NFL because they're not due, but everybody else is shopping their rights now. So the NFL is pissed that the NBA got $2.45 billion from NBC for Sunday Night Basketball when the NFL gets $2 billion for Sunday Night Football. Ooh. So the NFL's pissed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not like pissed.
Yeah, pissed. Well, you would be too if they gave the NBA more than what you're getting, comparatively speaking. Like nothing draws more than football, right? And so the NBA is getting $2.45 billion for Sunday Night Basketball from NBC. NFL owners are like, Raj?
Yeah.
Go figure this out. And these guys in the NFL understand where these TV networks are. Think about it this way. If CBS, NBC, ABC, and Fox lost the NFL, there's a great possibility they go out of business. Because what's bringing you to those four major networks? And so the feeling in the NFL right now, from what I was reading this article, I think it was on Awful Announcing, is that the feeling is these networks need us more than we need them. And so they expect these networks to come to the table with ka-ching to pay for this. And if they go away from free TV, that will kill the NFL. That will absolutely destroy this league if they go away from that free TV. And then the other thing that I was thinking about is when you continue to bastardize Sunday games, right? And Sunday, the league owns Sunday, NFL Family, all this stuff. Everybody knew Sunday you were going to watch the games. Okay, Thursday night's fine. Now you're asking me to carve out Friday? I'm watching Mitchell destroy people for Olathe East and win state championships. Sorry, Friday's out. Wednesday?
What?
Wednesday? Jen's got C10. She's mentoring. The kids, I got stuff with them. Wednesday night I'm out on that. Saturday, I'm definitely not in on for the NFL unless it's late in the season. And so you start to take away from what made this league special. And what made this league special is free TV and dominating Sundays. You start to take all of that away. Sundays don't feel as big. I don't want to watch a Wednesday game. I got other things going on, school nights. You're asking people to sacrifice a lot of family time during the week and give up stuff. So I think the NFL does need to reel it in from how many nights a week we're playing, and they better not go off of free TV. Otherwise, they'll lose their product. Ask any other sport. I mean, these teams, like I told you, Mac, the other day, I said, this NBA being on NBC is kind of cool. I may watch it a little more. I caught myself watching some because it was on.
It was there.
It was there.
It was there.
I will say this. There's two good texts. One says you should always leave your fans wanting more. They're in jeopardy of us wanting less.
Great point.
The other one that they said is a few years ago, Green Bay and Chicago opened the season, not Super Bowl winner. It's not that big of a deal. So, Mac, I've always got your back. I responded. I said, I think that was an anomaly of a situation. And it was a celebration of the league's 100th anniversary, and the two oldest franchise with the longest standing rivalry opened the season.
That's right.
Complete anomaly.
I apologize for you to have that to be wrong, that you're wrong on this text, but you are wrong. That's one-time deal,
right?
And a what do you call that? A centennial.
They're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the league, so the
richest, oldest rivalry.
Yeah,
and then
they've
never done that since. It's always been opening night is the celebration of the team that won the Super Bowl in their home field to release the banners.
Yes.
Now we're gonna get 49ers and the Rams in Australia.
But I think you
throw that plan down under.
But I think you have to play that game on the Wednesday to give those guys that extra day to get back too.
Well, of course,
so you have to play that game on Wednesday. And so the opening night where the banner raised and all the pomp and circumstance, you get to see the crowd. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about what we got to experience at Arrowhead on all those opening nights. Not that it's going to be any different in Seattle, and they'll still love every minute of it. But you've already had opening night. You've already rolled out, this product. So, that's what will kill the NFL ultimately, in my opinion. I've always said it. When they go away from free TV, and people are already ticked off of trying to jump. Look at the kerfuffle that baseball's in right now. Nobody knows how to watch a baseball game.
Well, you've only got 2 hours and 25 minutes to do so, which is great.
Yeah, taking over holidays. The games are too long. We're mad at the refs. Got to be careful.
Just don't kill yourself within. That's always, don't get high on your own supply. That's what my dad told me. Still trying to figure out what he meant by that. Coming up next, we'll get into worst to first. Plus, we'll talk about Nick Castellanos to the Kansas City Royals here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. news.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Underdog are ready for you this weekend. A lot of basketball action taking place, and of course, Olympics as well. And you know what time of year it is. It's fast break time. It's buzzer beater time and block party time. And you can have fun with all of that on Underdog because it's the best place to get in on all of that action. And playing on Underdog is just so simple. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points and rebounds, steals, and more. And get all your entries right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Sneaky little bet this weekend. Take the over when you're looking at Darren Peterson playing for the Jayhawks up in Ames. So download that app today and use promo code BOB to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 with promo code BOB. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over, present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets at underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, this is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, certified financial planner, and the host of the Jill on Money podcast. With the new year upon us, there's no better time to take control of your financial life. And the Jill on Money podcast is here to help. It's your questions that make it possible for me to provide unconventional and, I hope, entertaining insights on your money and, more importantly, on your life. Follow and listen to Jill on Money wherever you get your podcasts.
Today, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 64.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Hey guys, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. We're excited to launch Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana & Parks. This is about Kansas City, not about soccer. Telling the story of how our town ended up hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, plus video clips on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
Subscribe to Beyond the Pitch KC on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, Bob, set the scene because we're about 25 minutes away from smashing banana cheesecake. Banana pudding cheesecake.
Can't wait for the banana.
You definitely can't wait.
I know. I can't wait for the banana pudding cheesecake that Mitchell has made for us. Mitchell Carter and his dad David come in, and a big star at Olathe East, greatest athlete that school's ever done seen is Mitchell. And they made a banana pudding cheesecake for us because 2 weeks ago we're like a banana pudding cheesecake. Well, sure enough, Mitchell got to work, went to the test kitchen, guys, tried out recipes and perfected this one. So we're excited to have that coming up in about 20 minutes. Mac's smile is so big.
I mean, I'm genuinely excited for this. Bob told me this was a possibility, and before the text was even said, yes, make that happen, please. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know how we got on the topic of banana pudding cheesecake.
It was just a smash or pass
Yeah,
link that we had.
I saw it on Instagram when I was in the garage.
Yeah, that's what it was. I mean,
and Dusty brought it to us, and we all were like, I would eat that in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, so there we go. We'll eat it.
Can't wait.
On Valentine's Day.
Castellanos now with one down. Castellanos hooks that one. It's going to get down and go to the wall. Harper, he's being held. He runs through that side, and he's safe. And Castellanos into third. Boy, Wathen put his hands up, and Harper said, yellow light, I'm going through it, and he scores the 4th run for Philadelphia.
So that is ESPN back in the day. That's a 2023 cut from October of Castellanos in the playoffs. Castellanos' name came up yesterday because Philadelphia decided to move on from him, which means they will pay him his contract of $20+ million, meaning if you want Nick Castellanos on your baseball team, whether you're the Dodgers, Yankees, Royals, Mets, whoever, Knicks and 6, league minimum.
Yeah.
$700,000+
I think it's
a
about
year.
$750,000 for the league minimum. I could be wrong about that, but I used to know it all the time because I remember like when I first started covering the Royals in 01, it was $250,000 or something like that. I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. And now I think the league minimum's up where $750. Is that what?
$780 up from $760?
Okay, so $780 this year. So all the Royals have to do is spend $780,000, and they can get a guy that's going to hit you 20 to 25 home runs to play your outfield position. How he hasn't signed already, I don't know. But that's the gift that you're looking for. You're like, if anything can fall down from the heavens and help us this year, let's do it. And all of a sudden, Nick Castellanos, got released. And when you see things like that happen, I immediately go to the why. Okay, they're willing to pay $20 million. Why are they releasing this guy? So I did some recon work and talked to people around baseball. And every person I talked to around the game is like, the Royals need to sign this guy. The Royals need to sign this guy. He'd be perfect for the Royals. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that because a lot of times these guys get released and you're thinking to yourself, what did he do? Well, what he did was got pulled out of a game and got sideways with the manager and then came back into the dugout with a beer. And I didn't drink the beer and all that. Who cares if you drank a beer? You're an adult. And so they got offended by that. They got mad about that. He wasn't allegedly committed, if you will, to Philadelphia. And so they moved on from him yesterday and just outright cut him, which, again, in baseball, that's like, wow, you're cutting a guy. You really don't like this guy. He just doesn't fit here because you're willing to eat, $19 million to get rid of this person. You're paying somebody that's more than Jerome Tang's going to get. You're paying somebody $19 million plus just to go away. Oh, what's wrong here? And what's wrong is just him and the manager did not get along. And so I don't care. People don't get along with everybody. It's okay if you don't get along with somebody, but by no means should that be a reason to not bring him here to Kansas City. And as we talked about earlier, Dusty, with the labor situation coming up, we don't know when we're going to see baseball again after this season. The Royals need to be all in this year and really make that push because as somebody in baseball told me yesterday, the Royals aren't a World Series team, but they are a playoff team. Nick Castellanos makes you more of a World Series team right now than the current roster that you have out there because he fills a major need for you.
Yeah, I think that the problem we've had this season is that we've said outfield bat.
Yeah.
And I think what we need to realize is that you need a bat.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that is because before it was like, well, Bo Bichette's a free agent. He's a second baseman. Also, maybe is a position of need. We're going to see what Michael Massey's leash is this year. We're going to see the competition in-house between him and Jonathan India playing second base to see who gets that nod at opening day. I think it will be Massey if I had to put my money on it. But it's also like it's a bat. And I know that there's people that, think, oh, well, Nick Castellanos, like he's kind of the laughing stock of MLB because every time something bad happens, he does something, right? Like it happened, I think, in Kansas City. It was one of them.
It was the first.
Yeah. I find myself to be a good Christian man and all of them. There's a deep drive to left and Castellanos does it. It's like, okay, that's fun.
Right.
Whatever. It is that background story that he'll never be able to, live up. It's like, the same thing to say about Nikola Jokic, right? When he was drafted, they were putting a Taco Bell commercial up, right? Or whatever it was. And everyone still believes, and that is a funny story, but we know who Nikola Jokic is. I'm not comparing the two and their legacies. But again, like, you need a bat, and you need it at a price that you're willing to go get. You don't have to get rid of any of your pitching.
Not a thing.
You don't have to get rid of any of your checking accounts. You can just be like, hey, dude, we'll give you an opportunity. You don't necessarily have to play outfield either. You could play every third day. you might be in a lefty-righty matchup situation where today you play right and Jack DHs, or today Jack gets the day off and you play right field, or Carter Jensen's catching, Sal's getting the day off because he caught 2 games in a row. He's not going to DH this game, and you're going to DH.
Right.
Either way, you're putting a bat in a lineup that looks very similar to the lineup we had last year, maybe out of Isaac Collins and Lane Thomas, but it's essentially the same lineup you had last year. And if this guy comes in, no matter how you look at it, it's an upgrade to what you had before and what you currently have. And there's that word that we like, protection between certain players.
Yeah.
Because if you had a lineup that went Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, Nick Castellanos, Jack Caglione, Carter Jensen, Kyle Isbell, there's separation in there, and there's protection between those people.
Yeah, and your top 6 is really good, and your top 7 has a chance to be really good. And I think the Nick Castellanos thing does a couple of things. Number one, it removes the immense pressure that is going to be on Jack Caglione. And I think that the organization miserably failed Jack Caglione last year by bringing him up. Exactly what I said I didn't want to see happen, they did. And they brought him up because they panicked and they needed help and they needed somebody to save him. And they put that kid in a terrible position to have to come up and do that. And so I think the organization owes Jack Caglione one. And what they need to do is go get Nick Castellanos to take that pressure off of Jack Caglione, because it wasn't the right thing to do to put him in that situation last year. Now you bring in Nick Castellanos, he's hitting 6, Jack Caglione's hitting 7, 8, and 9 in every baseball lineup. People kind of just roll their eyes at anyway. So he's going to get better pitches to hit. He's going to have a better opportunity for success. And he's going to have a veteran alongside of him that he can talk to. There's not a lot of those guys, on this team. Bobby's young, Michael's young, Massey's young, Vinny's young. The only real true veteran on this team from an offensive standpoint is Salvador Perez. And you probably already talked to Salvi and picked his brain on everything. And so you're running back a lineup, essentially, as you mentioned, Dusty, that stunk last year. Didn't score enough runs, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're going to bring that back this year, just having a different year doesn't mean you're going to change to take the Chiefs aspect of things, right? Yeah, you had a nice year. You did some good things, but you still need to get better. The Royals haven't gotten really better this offseason. They've gotten a little bit different. I don't know how much better they are, but Nick Castellanos makes you a better team in so many different ways. They should have been on the first flight to Philadelphia and brought Clark Hunt playing along with them and sat there on the tarmac and not let Castellanos go anywhere, because I think he can be that big of an influence and an impact for this team that does not have a good enough lineup right now.
Yeah, I just... and again, I think that that's, I think, why you look at the narrative of this season when it comes to not adding maybe more firepower in your lineup, why you hear people like Vern say they either both have to be good or one has to be great, referencing the Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione narrative. Mm-hmm. And if you bring in a guy like Nick Castellanos, who has ties to Matt Strahm and Carlos Estevez as well, right, who they might be able to talk to Q and JJ and be like, hey, here's the deal. Here's what we know. Maybe it's worth your while. Who knows? And Nick Castellanos probably has no chance at coming to Kansas City, but he is a player with a specific piece of need for a team like Kansas City. And I do agree with people that are fans of the Royals in the past, where it's like, well, they brought in Jose Guillen, they brought in, Juan Gonzalez, they brought in these players before, and it just didn't seem to work out with a veteran bat. Well, I will say also, these teams are different than those teams that are in the past where you had Matt Stairs and Mark Gredzalonic, and I'm not taking shots at these guys, but that your roster wasn't potentially as talented as this roster currently is. Plus, you have a guy like Bobby Witt Jr., who you need to build around. Yeah. If we're going to have that narrative about Patrick Mahomes, where you can't stay stagnant and go 80 games and hope that you can limp into the playoffs and win your division, you need to build around your superstar. And a veteran player like Nick Castellanos in this lineup does not only help the young guys, it will also help the older guys and the veterans like Bobby Witt Jr. and Salvador Perez.
Yeah, and also, too, to the point of, like, we've tried this before, so you just quit? You just stop trying? Like, what kind of message is that? Well, Matt Stairs didn't work out 20 years ago, so F it, we're not going to go sign Nick Castellanos. That's a bad way and a bad look to approach things. You still have to go out there and try. And, with Castellanos, too, you mentioned you're not giving up anything. You're paying the league minimum. So he has to look around and decide what situation that he wants to go for, because nobody's going to pay him more than the league minimum, because then you're letting Philadelphia off the hook. And in a competitive business that baseball is, I'm not paying this guy any more than the league minimum. We're not letting Philly off the hook on this one. So he has to pick the situation that's right for him. I would imagine that Kansas City has to be one of the prime places that he's going to look at, because they have a chance to be a good team. Not a lot of pressure here. Opportunity to play almost every single day, So I would think that Kansas City could offer Nick Castellanos just about anything that he wants to offer. And the other thing that's different between, Matt Stairs and Mark Rudzalanek and Juan Gonzalez and all of these guys, again, those were all free agents. Those were all people they paid money to. This is essentially getting a 20 home run bat for free.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and that's the Royals. Like, we'll go get somebody that, like you said, we'll go get somebody that's cheap that can that never works. Well, now you have that situation presented for you.
Yeah.
And if you're going to sit there and bitch and moan about WAR, maybe that WAR is not going to be an effective piece for Nick Castellanos because he's not going to be that type of player for your team. He's going to be a bat for your team.
If you can get 20 to 25 home runs and 75 RBIs and he protects Jack Caglione and he becomes a better player and you spent $750K, that may be the best money you've ever spent.
One of the funniest memes you'll see on the internet is at BetMGM on Twitter. The Titans have formed the baldest coaching staff of all time.
Oh, nice.
3, 6, 9 coaches, all 9 bald. Robert Saleh's message is beating through the door in Tennessee. You got to love to see that, Mac.
It's awesome.
It is a great picture.
It's a great meme. Now every new coach they fired, let me see the dome.
Yep.
Well,
take off that hat.
That goes back to the Larry David thing. He's got to be able to trust you. Trust bald guys right out of the chute. He goes, you know what? You're proud of it. I can trust you.
Yeah, but see that the different thing to me, and you can ask Josh this for years, and I don't think it's changed. A bald goatee guy will never win a championship as a head coach. I've stood on that ground forever. And I don't think we've had a bald goatee guy win a championship.
Bruce Arians?
Had the hat on all the time, but not a goatee, had a beard, straight goatee and bald. I think Bruce Arians may have been the one where we started to go, oh, maybe this could change. Yeah, and there was maybe a hockey coach that,
Yeah.
But generally
You're
speaking,
right.
the bald goatee guy does not win championships as the head coach.
Dan Campbell, sorry, bud.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of how this conversation started years ago, too.
That's why Atlanta blew a 28-3.
That's right. And I remember after that Super Bowl, I go, see, bald and goatee. You never win. You just don't win. Because I remember during that game, Josh just texted me, he goes, the bald goatee thing may be going out the window here. Oh, no.
Oh, no, we're back.
We're back, baby.
That's awesome.
So you got to look at Bruce Arians when they won that Super Bowl. Did he have a goatee or did he have a beard? Because if he had a full beard, it doesn't count. Guys with beards can win, but it's the bald goatee guy that has never won a championship at any level in any sport. You start to look at it, you're like, damn, you're right about that.
He definitely had goatee.
Did he?
I don't know if he was bald because, again, hat, but definitely had the goatee.
Okay, so he may be the exception.
May broke the streak.
But yeah, that thing carried for a good decade.
Have you seen sunscreen, Bruce Arians? My God.
Yeah, he doesn't know what that is.
Yikes, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Tough. Speaking of tough, worst to first in the NFL, AFC, NFC. The worst teams in the AFC last year were the Jets, Browns, Raiders, Titans.
Ooh.
Taking a shot.
BBL stinky.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Titans have the best quarterback in that division?
In the South?
Hang on.
So you got C.J. Stroud. Yeah, that's fair. That's where I would go to.
Just because Trevor Lawrence has Liam Cohen, like Andy Reid needed Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence needed Liam Cohen.
I think I'll definitely agree with you, but that is
But it's close.
At the end of the season, that could be a conversation we start to have. Yes.
Let's see what C.J. Stroud does, too. This is a big year for him.
I think the question is Cam Ward better than C.J. Stroud?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know that to be the case quite yet.
Not yet,
yeah,
but again,
could be.
By week 7, we could be going, oh, wow, okay, yeah, he is.
I'm interested to see what the Texans are going to do from a weapons standpoint, too, because they failed him in the last couple of years. I know they had the injuries and whatnot, but they traded every offensive lineman. And
is Cam Ward better than Daniel Jones?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong person. Danny Jones fell down running. I mean,
he had a great year. He had a great season.
He had a great, 3/4 of a season. Then the injury happened, and then he became Daniel Jones all over again.
I'll go yes, but it's close.
Is C.J. Stroud worse than Bryce Young?
No.
No, not yet. Not yet, which isn't fair. Bryce Young's played better than him now season and a half in a row. Mm-hmm. He's played better than C.J. Stroud. That's a fair question. That needs to be talked about. Bryce Young,
they've given him more help, too, though, over the last year.
They have Canales is on the hot seat. I'm like, how can Canales be on a hot seat? It was top 10. I forget whose side it was, but it was top 10 hot seats for coaches.
Well, I mean,
Sirianni
there's 10 new ones, so they're out.
That's true. Yeah, so Sirianni was 1, Dan Campbell was 2. 3 was Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I'd have Dan Quinn.
And 4 was Canales.
No, I know Canales.
Now, maybe that's because they're putting David Tepper in the conversation where it's we lost first 3 games. We were a playoff team. Unacceptable. You're
fair
fired.
Point, though, but that's a legit point, though. That guy's He's wild.
Queen
Trigger.
Richard.
Yeah.
So we're all taking the Titans in this as a chance to be the number one from worst to first.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Damn it. It was a year too early.
Yeah.
A buck too short.
But I don't
like that coaching duo too over there.
Yeah, I do. I don't hate that coaching duo.
You know what
at
that
all.
means? Cam Ward's got to shave his head. He's got to go bald.
Yeah. He should for fun.
He should.
Wimby did. Do it.
Dude, if he went bald and did that, like I got to be like my coaches, he'd win so many brownie points.
That would be incredible.
That's the stuff that fans like and get onto. And then how many fans would go, let's do it all? And like you start getting fans shaving their head and doing that kind
and
of
then Will
stuff.
Levis is like, yeah, I'm going to do it too. And everyone's like, all right, never mind.
Yeah. All right.
But that would be a great way to like promote their season, because I know you haven't seen this movie Full Metal Jacket.
I've not.
The way they start the movie off is they're shaving all the kids' heads before they go off to boot camp for the war.
I just saw a meme with the.
You just do that, but with
Private Pile in it.
But you just do that with all the Tennessee Titans rosters.
Yes.
Goodbye, my sweetheart. Hello, Tennessee.
That'd be great.
By the way, here's your mailman from Cheers reference. They did that scene at the very end of the movie. Like the whole boot camp scene. That was the last scene they shot because they wanted to have the hair in the war. So they shaved all their heads at the end of the movie, so they had those shots first. So they shot it in reverse.
Yeah, I was looking for the why, and I was thinking they probably wanted the hair later on.
Another one of those Stanley Kubrick.
That kind of sucks to be one of the actors like, damn, last day. Now you're.
Now we're gonna go shoot this scene with R. Lee Ermey shouting in my face.
Oh my God.
You will not laugh. You will not cry. Here you are all equally worthless.
I mean, it's such a great 45
It's two
minutes.
movies.
It really is. You're right.
It's two movies.
It's boot camp, and then it's the war.
And then
after
it's the
boot
actual
camp,
story.
it's like, but that first
I
40...
would disagree because the after boot camp is like what Vietnam was.
I understand that.
Like the very end of the movie, it's a teenage sniper in the building. You're like, oh my God, that's a 16-year-old girl. That was how crazy Vietnam was.
Yeah, but from a oh my God, it's like the first 45 minutes to that.
Yeah, you see the jelly donut scene and you laugh, but you're also like, oh my, and then it ends and you're like, okay, never going to the bathroom or the barracks again. NFC, we go from worst to first. Lions, Giants, Saints, Cardinals. The AFC was tough because three of the teams suck and have no chance. The NFC's tough because three of the teams legit could be the first place team next year, finishing last. You're running with the Giants.
I am running with the Giants on this one.
Totally fair.
Yeah, I think their roster's good. They got now a leader. They got an adult in the room. So
do they have the best quarterback out of the four?
I'll
still got love for Goff?
Yeah, I'll give love for Goff. And I still
out of those four, I think you're talking about the East. I was like, probably Goff still gets the benefit of the doubt. Cardinals don't have a quarterback. Saints got a rookie.
Yeah, sorry.
I love Jackson Dart and his
Dart's
mother.
awesome.
But that's a story for another day.
His mother, man.
If she needs a Valentine,
he's rocked up. He's thick.
I'll hold two umbrellas during that rainstorm on Saturday and take her to the Mercury Room or Green Lady Lounge.
I mean, Jackson Dart's living his best life right
No doubt
now.
about it.
You got John Harbaugh as your coach, and you're dating, whoever she is now.
Instagram influencer, I think, something like that.
And then your mom's a rock star too.
And her mom,
nobody even knows what his dad's about.
For a younger kid reference, his mom is what we call a rocket.
Yeah.
Max apparently knows that reference. So Lions, worst to first. Tough division.
Tough division, yeah.
Right? Green Bay's going to give you a fight. Minnesota, we'll see. There's no way. Minnesota finished above Detroit. That's nuts to me.
Minnesota had a above 500 record.
Which
they
is
were
crazy.
9-8. I saw that yesterday and I went.
They were 9-8 with 9.
They were 9-8 last year with 9. Yes. I mean,
coldest dude in the room right there.
I'm telling you what.
Carson Wentz.
Matt Fleener up there doing a hell of a job in Minnesota. He took that guy and won 9 ball games with him last year.
Him and Carson Wentz. Yes.
If you were to ask me 2 days ago, what did the Vikings finish? I would have said 6-11. They were 9-8 last year with 9. I don't think he's coming back as their quarterback, guys.
Ooh, wow.
That's my bold prediction.
Yeah, that is.
I don't think he's coming back as their quarterback.
I like it. I mean, I get why.
Well, they fired their general manager because they drafted him.
Well, exactly.
So, I mean, if your one tie is out, then you're no longer wearing a suit.
How can you go out there? And then you listen to Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I think we would have been better if we. Yeah.
Well, if you really want to hear Justin Jefferson's truth, I think it was Kay Adams asked him, how did you have 1,000 yards this year? And he basically is like, I don't know. I mean, like, my quarterbacks were, different. They weren't, and he's like, I still did. It's like, okay.
So you've lost your best player.
Yeah.
Like, you've lost your best player. I think they do make it. I think they bring in a quarterback, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kirk Cousins going back to Minnesota.
Random Chiefs question. Next year only, would you rather have Justin Jefferson or Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett.
Next year only, Myles Garrett.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the defensive line is a 0.
It's so bad.
It's a net 0.
So you take the Giants, you take the Lions?
Yeah, I'll take the Lions, I think, because I just think they have the best roster, but they also are in the toughest division. I don't feel great about it.
Give me the Saints.
Love it.
Give me the guy we made fun of during the draft, being named Tyler Shuck.
Shuck.
And everyone thought it was Show. And then he goes to Shuck, where you go to New Orleans and shuck oysters.
Yeah.
By the way, my buddy Brian Oxley just came back from New Orleans. You know where he went first night?
Where'd he go?
Dragos.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Nice.
And he took a picture, and it took me
good.
back to last year's New Orleans experience. He took a picture from the exact same spot we sat.
At the bar?
Same bar,
Yeah. Cool.
same oysters, and got the same blackened shrimp linguine that we got.
Oh, nice. Did he see Hot Rod?
I hope. He was only there for 2 days, so he stayed at that, is it Caesars right there by Dragos?
Oh, you did stay at the
He
hotel
stayed,
there?
right
Yeah.
there.
Okay,
I was like,
cool.
then you had it made, dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude.
walk to the French Quarter, go to Dragos.
That's a great spot. The Caesars down there is a
That
great
city is
that's
He
a
said
great
the guy that
location.
was making the oysters, the grilled oysters, he goes, hey, man, you want some more? And he goes, duh. And then he said the lady next to him was like a New Orleans lady. She goes, how many have you had? He goes, I lost count at 15.
Yeah.
I was like, you're in New Orleans, dude. Like, watch out for that gout.
And cancer, apparently, right? That was the other one that Uber driver told us about.
Yep.
Apparently, coming up next, Richard of the Week, 2 guys that aren't Richards. We're going to try the banana pudding cheesecake next on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
and Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
At Target, we're unlocking all the feels this Valentine's Day. It's the perfect time to spread extra love and spoil everyone on your list with unforgettable gifts. First, give a cuddle-worthy surprise with the cutest plush toys, or get party ready and treat yourself to stylish women's dresses you'll heart. Both 20% off. Then dive into the ultimate cozy celebration with your faves with 30% off select women's pajamas. There's something sweet for all your special someones, even you. Find Valentine's Day gifts for everyone at Target.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Fellas, listen up. It's 2026, and this is going to be your best year yet when it comes to sex. You know why? Because you're finally going to take the advice and try chewable tablets from Blue Chew. Blue Chew's tablets help you feel and perform at your best, stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk in a gym membership. Be more confident where it counts. Blue Chew is a small chew for a big difference. You'll have flashbacks to your glory days, and dating has just got longer and better for everyone. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient for your individual prescription. Just like how we love to watch the athletes that we root for show up during the game's most exciting moments, you should be able to show up when it matters during life's most exciting moments. You can discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use the promo code KFNZ at checkout. You just got to cover $5 for shipping. That's it. Go to BlueChew.com, use the promo code KFNZ, and get your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
All-star coverage across Odyssey Sports is powered by Factor. Factor meals make it easy to feed your performance. Factor. Eat like a pro.
Banana pudding, banana pudding, banana pudding, banana pudding, banana pudding, banana pudding. Mama's hard at work, back in the kitchen. Day-o, banana pudding. And Daddy's on the sofa, just a moaning and a bitching. Day-o,
The hell is this? Banana pudding?
I've never heard this. Where's this, from the 60s or the 50s?
Southern culture on the skids.
Bob's going to listen to this today in the garage and just jam out to this, and he's jamming Lee.
Courtesy of our girl Lynn. Coming in here, she was like, I heard you guys talking about banana pudding. She's like, I got the perfect song.
I was wondering why she was in there. I thought we did something wrong.
I thought I missed an ad.
That's exactly what I thought. Who screwed up?
I thought so too. I was like, oh, what'd we do? But no, she's like, hey, I just got this song. You should play it. Really good.
Do you believe that Kirk Cousins is going to be a Minnesota Viking next year?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I bet Justin Jefferson would like that.
I guess.
Do we do banana pudding cheesecake or Richard of the Week first?
What do you guys want to do first? They're still cutting the cheesecake,
Okay.
So why don't we do Richard of the Week first, and then we'll end it with cutting the cheese. Yeah,
Right.
you know they got like.
Oh, Richard, I'm so happy.
I'll tell you.
Homie.
Richard of the Week.
Thank
Not
you,
that guy, pal. Trust
Dave.
me. You're not that guy.
My dad sent me a text. I think you guys have probably seen this floating around there. I got to find out where my father's text message is now. Here it is. Scientists create smart underwear to measure human flatulence. Have you seen this stuff that's out now? Because the original saying was that humans fart about 14 times a day. Now they're starting to realize humans fart from 33 to 34 times per day, and they've got this underwear out now that measures flatulence in people. And you can order that and see how many times you're farting.
Is definitely something a father would send his son.
Yeah. Hey, did you see this? Scientists create smart underwear to measure flatulence.
My word, Mac, that's 12. It's not even 10.
You're like tracking data. You've got an app.
You need that in the damn fast food drive-thru so they're not farting in your ice.
Here it is. For decades, physicians have struggled to help patients understand intestinal gas complaints. As gastroenterologist Michael Levitt, known in his field as the king of farts, wrote in 2000, it's virtually impossible for the physician to objectively document the existence of excessive gas using current available tests. So they created this fart underwear where now you can fart and see how many times a day you're farting. You take your drawers off, you rip one, and then I guess you sniff it. I don't know to figure out how many times.
Farts.
Lots of farting tonight.
What's up, dude? Name's Daryl, king of farts.
Yeah, I mean that guy is known as the king of farts.
What's up, dude? My dad, king of broken hearts. My name's David, king of farts.
King of farts.
All you want to do is hang on the zip line all day, David, king of farts.
So funny.
How good is that? This guy, what's your calling in life? Well, I'm a doctor. Oh, yeah, what do you do? Well, I study flatulence. I'm known as the king of farts. You may have heard of me.
Somebody says, I know my white elephant gift next year.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't
so
Gas
good.
Man the nickname of one of the kids in Little Giants? He is.
God, that's good.
Oh, my goodness.
It's the little things.
Oh, not Uncle Larry. King of Farts is coming over for Halloween. Gross. We're having chili.
4-hour show. Good content. What did you remember from today, Rob? King of Farts Flexer! They used to call me the King of Farts in KU.
Somebody wants to know if they have that fart underwear and a G-string.
They do not, no. Okay. You got to have the cheeks cupped so you can get the fart inside and it registers. I'm going to guess. I didn't read the whole story, but I'm going to guess. This underwear is probably tied to an app on your phone, so you could has to be, right? So you can look
data.
The power of the fart,
how long
the fart was.
More like an ass on your phone.
I mean, BBL stinky.
All right, Richard of the Week. Let's hit it.
Didn't I already did?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Mac, your name's first on the list. Who's your Richard of the Week?
All righty. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
What?
I know. I used to love this guy. I'm questioning it, man. I'm questioning it.
Well, you have it here. It says Giannis, and then all caps, sucks.
Yeah, Giannis sucks. So here's why. So whole thing, right? He's going to leave the Bucks. He's going to leave the Bucks. He's going to get traded. He's going to get traded. He's starting to push some of this out too. That he wants to leave, right? He's kind of demanding a trade. And then Kalshi, a future predicting market, over $23 million were put on the fact that he was going to leave Milwaukee. He doesn't. It comes out the next day after the trade deadline. Who is an endorser of Kalshi and high up in the ranks over there? Giannis Antetokounmpo. So to you, I say get bit, Giannis, and you should not be playing basketball anymore. This is the problem with these future prediction markets. Absolutely get bent. And I'm done with you.
You know what? I got to be honest, and I don't know if this is the case
You
or
got to
not.
be Giannis?
Yeah. I'm going to be Giannis here for a second. That's a good one. Really good. That's really good.
Thank you.
I'm at a loss now. You're welcome. You can't have athletes endorsing these things.
Nope, can't.
And they cannot be.
Oh, you're the man, dog.
And they cannot be investors into this stuff either.
Exactly. Yeah,
Sorry,
we've got to draw
just
a line.
can't. Yeah.
For that exact reason.
Just can't.
Look at what the Lord has made.
All right, who's your Richard, Dusty?
My Richard is the Backstreet Boys.
No.
Nobody wants you. The only people that want you are suburban mothers in their mid-40s.
Damn right they are.
And I will tell you why. And they want to perform at the 2027 Super Bowl.
Oh, that's fantastic.
No, them or the pudding? Cheesecake. Okay. No. Backstreet, take a back seat.
Yeah, we don't need
We don't need this. I want up-and-coming artists. I'm not here to support what people think I'm supporting. I'm here telling you that I want artists that are a new. I don't care if it's Morgan Wallen. I don't care if it's Zach Bryan. I don't care if it's Ella Langley. Give us somebody that is up
How about
and
Sabrina
coming.
Carpenter?
That's fine.
You want to buy a Sabrina Carpenter raffle ticket for a guitar we're doing for BMA this year?
That's a good plug.
Thank you.
But again, like the thing about it is that I feel like the Super Bowl should be up and coming artists or artists that are freshly kind of new. I don't need to see Backstreet's back. All right. I don't need to see Quit Playing Games with My Heart. I don't need to see the Backstreet Boys at halftime. I want to see somebody that maybe I don't know much about. Maybe somebody that is liked or is on the come, you could say, in the music world. You know, they had Kendrick Lamar. I know they had Bad Bunny. Not a lot of people agree with that. That's a topic for another day and a different time. But again, like, have these people. We don't, and I'll even say this. We didn't need Bruce Springsteen at halftime. Past his prime. Now, Prince was great because Prince is, I guess, Prince. But again, like, I didn't need 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, all those guys. I just want somebody that's relevant and new. I don't want the Backstreet Boys. Stay in the sphere. Backstreet, backseat, no thank you. Richards of the Week.
All right. My Richard of the Week, shockingly, Dusty, comes from the airline industry. And I
thought it was going to be Joe Judge.
Could be Joe Judge. He's Richard of the Year. It's gonna be hard to
Not
unseat
Sean
him.
Payton. He's over Sean.
I mean, this guy basically told mothers your husband is needing his sleep and he can't be involved in raising your child.
That's
I
right.
mean, that's what Joe Judge said. He can kick rocks for the year. But this one is an unbelievable story. 3 cabin crew members from a British Airways flight were hospitalized in L.A. after unknowingly consuming edibles. They were handed to them by a passenger on a transatlantic flight from London to L.A. The incident occurred after the flight had landed. These flight attendants were on the bus going to the hotel, started eating, the brownies or whatever that this passenger.
They were getting numb on the gum.
They had no idea. Passenger gave them brownies. They ate it. And this is where it gets good. The sweets were not consumed while the aircraft was airborne. Instead, the affected crew members reportedly ate them after landing. While traveling on the crew bus to their hotel, shortly afterward, they began experiencing severe symptoms, including panic and what were described as, quote, out-of-body sensations. Colleagues quickly recognized that something was wrong, and the 3 were transported to a local hospital for medical evaluation. Fact of the matter is, these people ate this chocolate that was given to them by this passenger, and it was like a 300 milligram chocolate bar, and they all ate the whole thing.
Sounds great. I'm down.
Yeah, you're a Richard for passing that stuff out to people, and
cool.
It's not at all.
Well,
That's a Richard move.
Did you hear that story before, like in the past, where this guy made like edible chocolate chip cookies and then took it to the Sunday service, and all these old people that go to church like started eating the cookies, and they all had to go to the hospital because they thought they're having a panic attack.
Yeah, because they're freaking out.
What's happening to me?
Yeah, each edible contained up to 300 milligrams of THC, and so
That's
somebody
a lot.
gave him this. Yeah, 300 milligrams. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot.
Man. man.
It is a lot.
I think the most I've ever had was 60. I don't remember the rest of the day.
300 milligrams.
Ass, that's going to put you on Mars,
and
dude.
that's why they say they were having outer body experiences.
You're going to see you're going to see the next comet. You'll know if the Earth is flat if you take 300 milligrams or if it's round. Be like, dude, I can tell you for a fact the Earth isn't flat. How so? Took 300 milligrams, went straight up.
I
dude.
mean, could you imagine these 3 flight attendants hammering a candy bar on a bus, thinking it's just regular chocolate?
Now, my one question that I know you don't know the answer to is like, could you imagine if it was like a sativa?
And you're just talking to
You're
everyone.
just up. Oh, yeah.
You're just hanging out.
You're Dusty Likens from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every day. But I mean, like, that's crazy. 300 milligrams is tough.
It's a lot.
That's tough.
A lot isn't even the word. I mean, insane.
Next thing you know, Mitchell's going to be like, you know what? By the way, there are about 18 hits of acid in that whipped cream. Why did you not tell me that to start the show?
I'd maybe still eat it. That's how good it is, though.
It is the
so
crust,
good.
The crust made me cry. It is so delicious.
What?
I mean, it is so good. The crust. Just eat the crust by itself.
All right, let's give it to Dad and Son. You guys are on the air. Tell us how you did this, where it came from, and how you feel about it.
All right, so yeah, I haven't even tried this version yet.
Get
but
in there for that bite. Look at that beautiful cross section.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try it.
Get it.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Nothing better than a radio show where everybody's eating, not talking.
One bite. What's the scale? 0 to 10. What's the scale, Mitch?
That's pretty good. I'm gonna give it like I'm gonna go 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Really?
Even
Yeah.
score. 9
And I
out
was
of 10.
Yeah.
That's good. You guys.
I did not even think that like banana pudding cheesecake would be that great. Like, I'm not like a huge banana pudding guy, but this is really good.
It's good.
It's great.
Yeah. Mac, what do you think?
I mean, since 10 it feels cliche, I'll go 9.7.
Okay. Dusty, I'm gonna go 11 like the dancers give at the Dancing with the Stars events.
I'm going to pay homage to James Vanderbeek. I give it a 10. A 10. An effing 10. Miss Davis, you go to Valentine's Day with me? I'd die for you. Hey, everybody. To you two, thank you very much for everything you did today. Thanks for sticking with us the entire show. Happy Valentine's Day. I love everybody in this room and in this building. Well, there's one. Go do something nice for everybody. You change their day, their week, their month, their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay safe, stay kind, stay groovy. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you on Tuesday. Mac will talk to you on Monday at 11.
Mac's awesome.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden